go. Hello there. Hello there, my family and friends. Hello there, my family and friends from the podcast universe far and wide. Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga. And this is episode number 821. That is Ocho Dos Uno of the Agostino Zinga Show, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere within the depths of London. Welcome back. How you feeling? How you doing? Great, amazing, good to know. Talking about Spanish, talking about Espanol, talking about Españoles, talking about España. I've been wanting to learn a new language for a long time. I've been trying to learn Spanish. I've been trying to learn I guess you say my native, but my country of birth official language, Portuguese. I've been trying to brush up on my French, which I used to be able to speak when I was younger. I'm kind of really bothered. I'm not going to lie. I'm really annoyed that I can't speak French anymore. Because when I was a child, we lived in France for a short while my, family were kind of relocating and hustling and doing the damn thing as you do over there. We lived in gay Paris for a flipping long time, and my French was spotless. But then when we moved over here to the UK, what ended up happening was that I started school here. I think I might have started primary school here. I think I did like reception and all that stuff in Paris and stuff and whatever it may be. So it's weird because like technically I was born there. Technically I'm French, but I'm not really, if you get what I mean. My passport doesn't say that anyway, if you get what I mean. So when we ended up moving over here and I started school, I was getting bullied because I couldn't speak English. That was the only time in my life I got bullied. For a very short period of time when I was super young, when I don't know what age I must have been, like 3 or something, or maybe older than that, maybe 6, who knows. I was getting bullied because I couldn't speak English. All I could speak was fucking French. Imagine me, a little kid in England, right? Everyone's speaking the way I'm speaking right now, and I'm just responding back like, oui, mais non, pardon. Je don't comprends. Like, I'm doing all this malarkey, and people are just like, basically teasing me. And I remember one day, I think I actually remember this. I've got weird memories I remember. Most things I don't remember because I'm a weirdo and I have had loads of traumatic experiences over my life. And I'm a man, like I'm a proper man. Like not like the men that you guys know. I'm like a proper man. Like I bury my emotions deep down. You'll never see me on here complaining, crying, asking for help, sympathy, empathy, going really deep and sharing my emotions or I bury that shit deep. I'm like a real man. None of that crying, complaining online. None of that tapping into my, emotions. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. What emotions? What are you talking about? I am a man. You bury that shit. So even though I bury most of my feelings and I don't really express myself in the most empathetic way possible. See, I can't even say the word. I can't even pronounce the word. It's not even my vocabulary. Man don't know. Man just cold-hearted. So because even though I don't really know that sort of stuff, what I do remember is that one day from my school, when I came back home, I was really distraught that all these kids were bullying me because I couldn't speak English, and I started sobbing, crying, like bogey coming, like hanging off my nose, like, you know what I mean, like hyperventilating and all that malarkey. And then I guess my parents at that time thought, you know what, which is a good idea, let's help this kid out, because at that time I think only my dad could speak English actually. Because my dad, my both my parents can speak a bunch of languages anyway. They are definitely what you describe as being a polyglots and stuff, right? They have loads of languages under their belt, and not just like African dialects, like loads of languages. Like, I think my dad can speak like quite a few European languages too. So they're like, you know what? We want to help you out because we also can't speak English, or not to the level that we want it. So we're just going to do a rule where in this house we only speak English. So when I grew up, for the majority of my childhood, they kind of helped us by, basically only speaking English in the house, which is how I learned English so quickly. But obviously because of that, I then forgot French. It's kind of like, when like, like I think it's like old Windows computers, when like you run out of space, like, so you want to put another program on, but you don't have any space, so that the program just like takes up the space of the previous program. I think that's what happened to my French. So I can understand, like when I pronounce things, like if I'm speaking to a French speaker and I pronounce something, they'll always compliment my accent or how I pronounce it. So I'm guessing because I started learning French when I was a kid, I've got a level of pronunciation that you probably would find it hard to get if you were starting to learn French when you're an adult. So I've got a good quote unquote base, but it's not really a base. It's barely a foundation. It's like a smidge, but it's something there. So I'm sure if I learned it and I started to kind of actively learn it, I'm sure I could kind of activate it. You know what I mean? It could kind of, maybe it's like a dormant language, but I want to get French under my belt. I want to get fucking Spanish under my belt. I want to get Portuguese under my belt. Portuguese I've got a really weird relationship with, colonially, like very odd. You know, being from Angola and stuff, it's like an official language, but it's not really. But there's a weird thing, like Angolans have a weird thing with Portuguese. There's Angolan people who speak Portuguese with a Brazilian accent because they think it makes them sound cool. It's almost like English people. It's almost like African people. No, it's almost like English people who speak English with an American accent. You know, those people exist, right? Who think that, oh, it makes them sound more worldly and shit. So there's some Angolan people who only speak Portuguese in a Brazilian accent or with a Brazilian grammar, like, you know, Brazilian Portuguese, for instance. It's its own type of, like, it's not really the same. Or it's the same, but, you know, different words, phrases, grammar, whatever, slang and shit. But then there's this other thing as well in Angola where they look down on you if you don't speak Portuguese at all. Like, they act as if, like, you're not Angolan. And I'm like, hold on. Portuguese isn't even our language. I've got this weird fucking, I don't know, sandwich shop name, right? I sound like I'm named after a fucking high street fucking, you know, bagel shops or something because of these motherfuckers came to our country and raped and pillaged us for more than 500 years. This isn't even our language. That isn't even our official language, legit. Or, you know, it's a language that the oppressors gave us. They raped and pillaged us and left us all these fucking freaky European names and weird cuisines and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But then they'll look down on you if you can't speak Portuguese. Oh, you can't speak Portuguese, then you're not really Angolan. It's like, motherfucker, none of us are really Angolan. They're taking away all our fucking heritage. They ripped it away from us. Ripped it away from us, the flipping Portuguese, eh? Cristiano Ronaldo and his mum and shit. Cristiano Ronaldo's fucking forefathers and ancestors absolutely decimated us. Like, they took us to town. I don't know. I don't really understand it. I really don't understand it. I don't get it, man. It's very, very bizarre. So I say that to say, why did I bring this up? I don't know. I'm ranting. Oh, I say this to say this. I saw a clip recently, right, of the Joe Budden podcast. Somebody uploaded, I think, Joe Budden clips. I'll probably play it when I do the clips of this. Sorry, I can't, you know, bother to find it right now. But when I do the clip, I'll play it now so you can see it. But somebody uploaded a clip where I think certain creators on YouTube, I guess Joe Budden's one of them because obviously he puts out a lot of content and it's all kind of speaking and it's a higher name. But I guess YouTube are slowly running out a feature which they're probably going to give to everybody later on. But it's an AI feature that allows you to translate your video into other languages. And in this particular clip, there's a clip of Joe Budden and Ish, two people on the Joe Budden podcast, who are speaking, and the AI has translated it into Spanish. But it's so freaky. It does it in your accent, in your tone of voice, whatever, inflections. It even makes your lips move a certain way to make it look like you're actually speaking Spanish. It's not even, it's not just dubbed. It's fucking so fucking cool. So that might be a feature going forward. But it made me think, this might be counterintuitive and I might be speaking out my ass here, but I think if that's the case, right, if we're going into this direction where AI is going to allow people to basically do real-time translation, that might be a thing going forward. You could imagine maybe Apple, especially now Apple have this partnership with OpenAI. You can imagine a feature sometime down the line where with AirPods on or something, you can have like real-time translation where you could be, let's say in Chile, and somebody could be speaking to you in Spanish and you could legitimately understand what they're saying in real time, answer back, and via the power of the fucking AirPod, maybe microphone, it can fucking, you know, tell the person, or if they're wearing a headset, they can kind of understand you straight away. I think they used to do that in most sci-fi films, right? I think like Star Trek, Star Trek was, they would always have like a thing. They have like an inbuilt little AirPod thing that helps them kind of like translate so they can, whenever they go to these far-flung worlds, they can understand the native language. But I also think on the flip side, actually knowing the language is going to be even more valuable. Even though AI might replace a lot of translators, I think actually still having languages under your belt is still going to be valued. because it'll probably take some time before we get to like real time off the cuff conversation transcribing or translating. You're still gonna need to know the language if you're in some, if you're like in the middle of, like, let's say Valencia, right? You're in Valencia, you're in Cadiz or something. You're in these weird, I don't know, you're in fucking Bergamo in Italy. You're in these like rural places where there's not a lot of like tourists. There's not a lot of like colleges and shit, international colleges. And then you're gonna be around like actual people who don't speak anything apart from their native tongue. So that's still going to be important, because I still run into that issue sometimes, especially if you go to like European countries and you venture like an hour away from the main city. You bump into people who just like have no idea what you're talking about. No, we don't speak English here. Zero. Like, we don't speak nothing. The only English we know is Drake lyrics. You know, do you know what I mean? Like, we don't know what you're talking about. Like, you need to fucking write this out on this fucking Google Translate and get it going. But yeah, that's what I'm aiming to do going forward. I really want to jump on that fucking thing. Or not jump on it. I really want to push forward and double down and make sure that I am fucking following through with the language thing, because I think it's really important. And I always wanted to be I always thought of myself as like a wannabe Renaissance man, but part of being a Renaissance man, part of being worldly, part of being fucking able to kind of move between different fields and different areas and, you know, be fluid and be or somewhat of a digital nomad is also being able to kind of converse with people. And I know from my brief time learning Spanish, when I was really getting into it properly, that was like 2017. And I was doing pretty well because I was actively trying to learn it. Like, I was doing like an hour of like self-study a day. I think that's what my habit. I forgot the fucking book. It's got like an orange on the front of it. It's a series of books that do language learning anyway. I did that. I did a bit of Duolingo. But that wasn't included in my hour. And I also did, I forgot the app. There's an app that you use that you can do like language exchanging online. But this is before like Zoom, so I'm not sure what the app. I'm not sure if the app is still around, but it was basically a website where you could connect with people online, and you could find people that would want to learn English. Like, for instance, I was doing it with this girl and this guy, and essentially they were like kids, you know, in random places in Spain that also wanted to learn English. So that you would swap, so that you would do like an hour, or no, you do 45 minutes of either language, and they'd obviously help you. And honestly, as much as I was doing pretty well, like keeping my chain up of logging onto Duolingo and actually learning on that stuff and doing a lot of self-study and shit and reading my books and making sure I was doing all the exercises and all the grammar things, blah, 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 blah. The real difference maker was those classes, those little like online fucking exchanges I did. Spending 45 minutes with somebody, trying to speak the language, fucking up, sounding horrible, getting corrected a million times. That made way much difference overall than just like doing Duolingo. Like, you need to do it all in combination. Like Duolingo, a little bit of self-study, but also mostly talking to people really, really, really helps. Because then when I went to Barcelona to run that half marathon that I did, which was a really fun half marathon, by the way, might be one of the better ones. It's quite hilly in some parts, but it's also very, very fast. But I went to run a Barcelona half marathon, and when I went there, I went onto meetup.com, and I joined a sort of like, like an expats group thing. And at this expats meetup thing that they had at a bar, they had this like thing where it was kind of like speed dating, but it wasn't. It was sort of like you all got to learn the language. So you spent like 10 minutes going from English to Spanish with different people, just speaking. And I swear to God, like, my brain was hurting by the end of the night, but I felt like I improved my Spanish like tenfold. It was really difficult to do, like switching between the two languages. Like, oh my God, my brain was fucking getting fried. But from the day, obviously it helped as well because we were drinking and shit, so it kind of helped to kind of lower your nerves and shit and your inhibitions. But by the end of the night, man, I was like, wow, the difference it makes. And it's really it's really hard. It's really fucking hard, don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm a shy person or anything, but it's very difficult to get over that sort of like, okay, cool, let me try, you know? Let me try. It's very difficult to like go to somebody and try to speak their language, especially if you're not, when you know you're not that good. You feel like you're wasting their time, or you give them a headache and shit. But it really does make a difference speaking to people in their language and obviously trying to learn it that way as opposed to just learning in a book. But even though that AI feature really did blow my mind, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I think in this new economy, it's going to be quite beneficial to also learn the languages yourself. It's going to be one of those type of things, like, it's going to really make a big difference. So that's what I'm going to aim to do in these next couple of months and stuff, especially towards the end of the year. I try to end of the year as strong as I can, possibly. I know some of us, the end of the year comes, we all take our foot off the pedal. But why not, why not try? Why not try to end the year on a high? So with the end of the year approaching, I'm going to be taking up more of that. So you'll be hearing more horrible, very heavy-handed, very clumsy, very bad on the ears, actually, without even getting too harsh on it. Very, very unpleasant on the ears, especially if you're a Spanish speaker. Attempts at speaking Spanish from me, you'll be hearing them. I'm really, really sorry, but I have to try. I have to try. Anyway, talking about having to try, this trial is about to be fucking spicy. So it looks like it's getting from bad to worse. It's going from, not getting to, it's going from bad to worse for our boy Diddy. Bad to worse. Another woman alleges Diddy raped her on video in the latest lawsuit. So it seems like everybody is queuing up to kick Diddy. Everybody is queuing up to get paid. Everyone is queuing up to share their story and let the people know, or the world know, how much of a monster Diddy is. It's going from bad to worse, really. Bad to flipping worse. So this young lady here, courtesy of AP News, let's scroll down. It says another woman sued Sean Diddy Combs on Tuesday, alleging that the music mogul and his head of security raped her and recorded it on video at his New York recording studio in 2001. God almighty. She's straight up saying, nah, he didn't hit me. None of that fucking trafficking stuff. He raped me. Like, she's saying this with her full chest. She's putting her name to it. She's doing a press conference. She's crying on camera. In the lawsuit filed in federal court in New York, the latest of several similar suits against Combs comes weeks after he was arrested and a federal sex trafficking indictment against him was unsealed. Thalia, is that how you pronounce it? Thalia or Thalia? Thalia. Thalia Graves alleges that when she was 25 and dating an executive who worked with Combs in the summer of 2001, Combs and Joseph Sherman lured her to a meeting at Bad Boy Recording Studios. She said they picked her up in an SUV and during a ride gave her a drink likely laced with acid. So she got spiked, according to her. According to a lawsuit, Graves lost consciousness, awoke to find herself bound inside Combs' office and lounged in the studio. They tied her up. What? The two men raped her, slapped her, slammed her head against a pool table and ignored her screams and cries for help, the lawsuit alleges. God almighty. God almighty. That sounds absolutely horrendous. And if she's alleging the security guard also took part, best believe, now that his name is being put out there, he's most likely moved on. I'd imagine maybe he doesn't even work in the entertainment industry anymore. He's just some like private citizen. Now his name's getting dragged through the mud. For sure, if there's ever opportunity for him to flip or to snitch on Diddy, he's going to do it. So most likely it's, if we're going to just guess here, the likelihood of this story being real or this, accusation being legit is very, very likely. If there's another person that she's claimed in a story who most likely will corroborate what happened, and when pressed or pushed up against the wall, they're probably going to end up snitching on Diddy too. So Diddy is extra fucked. And you'd imagine too, this is 2001, that, there's still, I would imagine, there's still a potential that she might have evidence. That's potential there. She might have evidence to corroborate her entire account of what happened. Maybe phone calls, texts, because Diddy is like, from what we've seen so far, like as much as I used to like admire the guy as like a music mogul and a businessman, he's pretty dumb, innit? Because people are, it's being alleged in the fucking lawsuit that even after the raid, he was contacting victims and basically trying to pressure them into like taking back their allegation or lawsuit. I think recently with the Dawn Richard woman, who was formerly of Danity Kane, he was calling her through a friend, like just moving dumb. Like, bruh, obviously the feds are watching you. Why are you trying to call witnesses? Do you know what that looks like? That's witness intimidation. That's what it is. Like, it doesn't matter if you're just talking to them in a soft voice and trying to hear them out. You should have no contact with these people, especially if they're alleging some of these heinous crimes against you. Like, why are you talking to them for? Like, honestly, pretty dumb. Like, pretty dumb. So it wouldn't surprise me if more than likely there's evidence that also backs this up, and Diddy's gonna be in an even worse situation than when he started this, if he isn't already. It continues. At a news conference in Los Angeles, one of her attorneys, Gloria Allred, oh yeah, she's with that woman, innit? Gloria Allred, I remember her. She's the lady that's always sitting next to women who like who accuse men of like heinous crimes, and she usually gets them paid. She's always there. She's, would you call her like an ambulance chaser? I don't know, but whenever there's a high-profile man who goes down for something very heinous, whenever there's a Me Too moment, a cancellation, a rape thing, whatever, she's there front and center. So if this woman's taking that woman's case, I'm assuming there's likelihood of her winning is high, the evidence is high, and the likelihood that Diddy did it is really high also. God damn, Diddy is, if he wasn't fucked already, he's fucked now, innit? Let's continue. It says, it has been hard for me to trust others, to form healthy relationships, or to even feel safe in my skin, said Thalia Graves. She said, it's a pain that reaches into my very core of who you are and leaves you emotional scars that may never heal. Oh my God, bro. Painful shit. Painful. And to think, this stuff would have never come out if Cassie wasn't brave and said what she said. Even if Cassie only came out, because it's now looking likely Cassie only really filed that lawsuit because Diddy didn't agree to pay for the book rights that she was about to put out, She alleged, that's the story, the alleged story is that she was writing a tell-all book, spilling all the secrets, and her team called Diddy and said, hey, this book's coming out. If you want it to not come out, pay us 30 mil. Diddy, in all his arrogance and his bravado and his cockiness, said, nah, you can go fuck off. And then, okay, they tested his gangster, slapped the lawsuit down, and then within 24 hours, he settled. And most likely paid her more than the 30 mil that she was asking for. Big up fucking Cassie. But without her bravery, without her taking that first step and stepping out and saying, hey, this happened to me, because you'd imagine too, that's probably why a lot of women don't really report these type of things, because part of it is kind of embarrassing. Especially that video, like people seeing you that way. It shouldn't be embarrassing because you're the victim. Obviously, she did nothing wrong. But you could imagine in a woman's head, probably, is you don't want to seem helpless and embarrassed, and you don't want to look like you were taken advantage of, or like somebody got one over on you. Because that video in the hotel lobby, like that, like I know there's some people out there that are waiting for evidence. But for me, being a fan of Bad Boy and hip hop in general, and kind of knowing who Cassie was, the moment she came out the allegations, I knew it was true. Like, she was the only person that was like close to him for the last 20 plus years. If anybody knows where the body's buried, it's fucking Cassie. So the moment she said what she said, I believed her straight away. It's like, yeah, she was with him all the time. Like, she was basically his muse. So if she said it happened, it happened. But some people needed video evidence. When that video evidence came out, I think a lot of us, or a lot of those people, were like, okay, now they believe it. Because that guy was in a bathrobe in a very public hotel, allegedly, kicking her up and down and shit, not giving a fuck. So imagine what he does behind closed doors. But then I found one interesting thing when that story happened, actually. Someone actually said, because I think people were also making a mention that hotel wasn't that fancy. It was like a, let's say, regular 3-star kind of hotel. And, with Diddy being a billionaire and shit, you'd imagine you'd stay in somewhere a bit more luxurious. But they were allegedly saying that obviously it's a cheaper place to stay, and if you've got money like Diddy, you can effectively book an entire floor for yourself. So that's what he likely did. So if you want to get into some freak off shit, but you also don't want your neighbors to kind of find out Wagwan, or to maybe get startled and call that reception if you're making too much noise, you just book out the whole floor. So allegedly, on that particular evening, that was one. That's why we didn't see anybody open the door, because if that was me and I was staying in a hotel and I heard some woman screaming, you know what I mean? I'm opening the fucking door. You know what I mean? I don't care who's down there. But we didn't see anyone open the door, anyone come to help. So clearly, he had booked the whole entire thing, which is extra scary as well, by the way. Because can you imagine the amount of fucking footage that exists out there of Diddy fucking beating people up and being a fucking menace in hallways and hotels around the world? Like, god damn it. Anyway, it continues. It says, Combs remained jailed without bail in New York on federal charges alleging that he ran a vast network and facilitated sexual crimes and committed shocking acts of violence using blackmail and other tactics to protect Combs and those close to him. He pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. His attorney said that he's innocent and will fight to clear his name. His representatives did not immediately respond to an email seeking comment on the latest lawsuit. There is no immediate indication the lawsuit or Combs represented. I'm just curious though, like how did they make the racketeering conspiracy stick if he's the only one so far arrested? Do they mean racketeering as in like the racketeering means the other people that are involved were the people that work at the record label? Because that's gotta be brutal, isn't it? Like imagine if you work for Bad Boy, or you work for Revolt, or you work for Diddy, but you just work a job. If he tells you to book this girl a hotel, you book it. But can you really be like convicted or part of this conspiracy charge, racketeering charge, when you're just like you're just an assistant? You work in marketing. You're the operations person at Bad Boy. You don't know what the fuck's going on. You're just doing your job. If he says book fucking 10 rooms, you book 10 rooms. I wonder what I'm curious to see how this evolves, like, or whether there's other things happening that we don't really know about. I'm curious to see what go on. The other development about this though, just to kind of finish on this one, is that allegedly Diddy's refusing food. He's going on a hunger strike. This might be one of the only times in his life he's actually suffered, you know. Allegedly he's going on a hunger strike. He's a bit nervous, he's a bit paro, that people are gonna spike his food and shit, so he's not eating. It's like, yo, how your life changes in an instant. I'm watching an academic stream and academics were saying he was staying in a hotel in New York in the presidential suite that was $10,000 a night. I don't think in my life, I swear on my heart, on my life, and I've been to some nice places. I've been to South America, been to Southeast Asia, right? Been to parts of nice places in Europe, been to America. I don't think there's a single vacation I've been on where I spent more than $5,000. This nigga was staying in a hotel that's $10,000 per night. Then on that very same day, he's in a fucking jail that's the size of a shoebox. Can you imagine what that must do to your mental? That kind of drop in like living standards and shit. Like that's a fall off. It's one thing if one of us, you know, God forbid, gets locked up, you know, whatever. You know, we're living in a house, you're living in an apartment, it is what it is. But you are staying in a hotel. You have many houses around America. You have your own private jet. You have drivers and shit. You know, you were walking around fucking Central Park, taking pictures with fans, and then the very next day, you're in a jail cell. You're wearing a fucking orange jumpsuit. You're getting your fucking meals delivered to you on a fucking rickety tray through a little hole on your door. Ooh, that's a fall off. That's a fucking fall off. That's a fucking fall off. So, let's see what one. Strength and light goes to this young lady for coming forward and sharing her piece. I'd imagine it's super painful, especially when you're an older lady, especially, you know, an older lady, you've kind of moved on with your life. Maybe you've got a family. Maybe you've got colleagues now. To put this all out in the open, maybe you're afraid they're going to look at you differently. It must be hard. It must be really fucking hard. So the bravery it takes for women to come out and say these type of things, even many years past down the line, it's not really lost on me, really, especially when you see the conviction rates and shit, or the, you know, how low the conviction rates are. So for someone like that, I just wish them strength and light, and hopefully they're able to kind of get past it and kind of move on, and of course win big in the courts. You know what I mean? Hopefully. Big up everybody in the stream chat. I appreciate you. Big up Case of Moses. Yeah. Sorry, my guy. We're gonna do a random show after this. Do not worry. I know I've neglected a random show. I apologize to all you guys. We're gonna do a random show immediately after this. I'm probably gonna run, just to keep you guys aware. I'm probably gonna run another hour. So I'm probably gonna run another hour on this one, and then straight onto random show, and then I'll do a little break in the evening, go to the gym, and then we'll do a random show. So don't worry, we're gonna do more random show today than we're gonna do Tazs. Do not worry, because I know I've neglected my random show family. So we're gonna do it. Okay? Cool. Big up in the stream chat. Big up Jake Clark. I see you. Thank you for the love, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, big up Chris Mack. Portuguese and Spanish are similar. Yeah, exactly. Good point. I'm hoping once I have a good foundation on both, I'll be able to kind of increase my learning on the other. Big up Angola, big up Sarlux. Big up Chris Mack again. In the Star Trek, the computer could translate even brand new languages that didn't have a database after it listened and analyzed it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that shit, man. Honestly, that's the part of. I think I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about whether or not I believe in extraterrestrial life, and that's what I would love to see. I do believe in extraterrestrial life. I do believe that there are others out there. But the thing that I'll be fascinated about is like transportation, aerospace design, languages, how their societies function. That's what I would want to know more so than about like, oh, what they look like. I mean, I'd want to know that sort of shit, like how they even communicate in general. You know, like just in general. Like I'd love to fucking learn that sort of stuff. That would be fucking cool to see. So big up them if they're able to do that. So come down, my masters. I would love to see you. Let's continue. What's this about here? Yeah. Also, oh no, it means conspiracy. What they said? What's it? Bad boy, baby. Okay, racketeering is basically using gangster tactics in business, right? Yeah, but basically. But usually, racketeering usually involves more than one people. I don't know. I've not really heard of someone get in charge with racketeering and it's only just them. It's usually like a bunch of people. I'm sure it is, but maybe I'm mistaken. Who knows? Either way, I guess we'll find out as it plays out. Moving on from that. Big up everybody tuning in. Appreciate all of you. Make sure you smash the like button down below. By the way, could somebody explain what the fuck is going on here? Look at this. The son of Ryan Roof, charged in Trump assassination attempt, charged with child pornography. Excuse me? What the fuck is going on? So I'm sure most of you guys know that crazy looking guy, bless his heart, who allegedly attempted to assassinate Trump. I don't even know if he did, but he was acting very shifty at the golf course. He had a rifle sticking out of the bushes like some sort of like Looney Tunes cartoon from back in the day, like a bizarre state of affairs. They ended up tackling him and whatever, taking him into custody and shit. Allegedly, his son is now being charged with child pornography. Like, how does this happen? Is this like CIA sort of stuff? Like, what the fuck is going on here? What are the chances that your dad tries to assassinate the president and now you are getting done for child pornography? Huh? Or is that just a thing? Like, most assassinators have also come from, like, you know, weird families. So the likelihood of their family member being involved in something like this is likely. I don't know. Either way, wild twist in this story. So it continues. The son of the man facing gun charges after staking out former President Trump's golf course was charged on Tuesday with possessing child pornography. Orrin Roof of Greensboro, North Carolina, faces federal charges of receipt of child pornography on July 23rd and possession of child pornography on September 23rd, according to the court records. And you know what's funny about this, right? This dude, the son, was talking so much to the press. I don't understand why he was, by the way. Horrible son. He was yapping away. Oh, that's not my dad. That's not the guy I recognize. We're not really on good talking. Like, he was spilling all the fucking family information. We're not really in communication anymore. But that's the, you know, he's a quiet guy. I wish people would reserve judgment and blah, blah, blah. Things are talking about the media playing a part in what happened. And maybe people should be understanding of why Trump would be assassinated because he's a bad person and people should vote. Yo, he was yapping. This kid was yapping in the news all the time. All the while, he had all this nasty shit on him. All the while, he was doing all this nasty shit. That's what he gets for yapping. Like, shut your mouth, bruv. Your dad gets done for whatever he gets done for. Like, ferme la bouche. Keep the family stuff back at home, bro. Don't out here fucking... That's why I never understood people who are like... I never understood people who judge people who don't, like, go out and cancel their friends. You should never cancel your friends publicly. Obviously, privately, if you don't want to talk to him anymore, cool. But you should never be out there saying, oh, yeah, I knew this guy when he was like 10. Yeah, and he was always really weird. Bro, that's so uncouth. That's so like lame. Like, shut your fucking mouth, bro. Keep your counsel. Keep it private. If your friend did some madness and you know did a madness, just don't talk to them anymore. You don't need to go there and fucking go online and start fucking giving press conferences, especially your dad. And plus, his dad is clearly, in my opinion, the guy that did the attempted assassination. He's clearly mentally unwell. Clearly. So if anybody should have like grace and should be maybe a little bit careful about what they say about, you know, someone they know who may be suffering mentally, it's his son. So that's what he gets. That's the fucking karma that he gets for yapping. Now look at you. You're a fucking diddler. You're a fucking PDF. It continues. The charges follow the FBI search of his apartment in connection with an investigation unrelated to child exploitation. So, so most likely, because his dad tried to kill Trump, naturally the FBI went, hey, let's go search the kid's house. That's just what you do in an investigation, right? You go through all the family, all the relatives, all the friends. And in the process of searching his house, opening his cupboards, looking through his drawers, opening some shoe boxes, they're like, oh, look at here, PDF, lock him the fuck up. You know what I mean? Honestly, and who knows, maybe if he didn't yap away, no one would have known. Maybe he would have time to fucking destroy the stuff. Who would have known? It continues. The FBI found a Samsung Galaxy Note device in a laptop bag with a memory card containing hundreds of child pornography files. Oh my God. Involving children as young as 8. All right, that's it. Involving children as young as 8. All right, that's it. I think he's worse than his dad. Final. That's it. Fuck it. I think he's worse than his dad. His dad, you could excuse his actions, mental health, blah, blah, blah. The kid is worse than his dad. Let the dad put a dad somewhere where he can get some help, you know, constructive rehabilitation, reintegration to society plan for him. But the kid, chop up his body and throw him into the ocean. Fuck that. Fuck the kid. Chop up his body while he's alive. You know like they do in magicians when they cut the body up and they have the mirrors and shit. No, but do it for real. Chop him through a fucking chainsaw into pieces and throw him into the ocean. Fuck the kid. Fuck the son. That's what he gets. He snitched on his dad, and then look, he's got fucking hundreds of files of child porn on a Galaxy Note memory. Like, fuck that kid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Imagine that fucking family Christmas, eh? So what you guys been up to? Bloody hell, imagine that family gathering. Imagine that Christmas dinner. Imagine that Thanksgiving dinner, eh? Bloody fucking hell. What a horrendous family. You got a dad that, I think he was fighting, wasn't the dad in Ukraine too? I think the dad was fighting in Ukraine. The dad was fighting in Ukraine, bro. Hold on one second. Let me continue. Bear with me a second here. Oh, I hate this fucking site, USA Today. All it does is like weird loading shit all by itself. Okay, can I just browse it now? Is that okay? Can I browse the site without you reloading a million times? Cool, there we go. Sorry about that. It says Ruth has not yet entered a formal plea of his charges. His lawyer was not listed in the court documents. He doesn't even have money for a lawyer. Probably got a public defendant. Like, yo, what a mess of a family. Ruth is the son of Ryan Ruth, 58, who faces 2 federal gun charges in what the federal authorities called an assassination attempt on Trump. The elder Ruth has been linked to an SKS rifle hidden at the Trump International Golf Club, where the Secret Service agent shot the suspect who leveled a weapon at Trump direction on September the 15th. Prosecutors revealed on Monday that the elder Ruth had traveled from Greensboro to West Palm Beach on August 14th before his phone was tracked for nearly a month near the golf course at Trump Mar-a-Lago. So he was there for a month scoping Trump out. Wow. What? Didn't let off a single shot. Sorry. U.S. Magistrates Judge Ryan. Wow, is that how you spell? Wow, I've never seen someone spell Ryan like that. Ryan spelled R-Y-O-N. Ryan? Wow, never seen that. Ryan McCabe ordered Ruth detained without bond after a 3-hour hearing in Florida where federal prosecutors linked him to a rifle found at Trump International Golf Club. So yeah, hey man, hey. The dad, you know, what he did was obviously bad. Don't try and assassinate presidents. We all fucking know that. But in my opinion, judging from the videos that I've watched of him speak, judging by what he looks like, judging by how he carries himself, he's most likely quite mentally ill and is suffering from some sort of mental illness and probably just needs some help. And maybe he doesn't want it, maybe he needs medication, who knows? But I think that would explain the reason why he did what he did. I think the son is, there's no comeback from that. I'm sorry. You've got hundreds of files of child porn on your fucking phone. Like, you just deserve to get, you deserve to get fucking firing squad. It is what it is. The kid is way worse than the son. Forgive the dad, for he did not know what he did. Dust it off as an episode. But then the kid does not deserve to go out. I don't think so, in my humble opinion. But again, I could be wrong, because I usually am quite wrong. I could be wrong because I am usually quite wrong. Moving on. Let's go to this story. This is a fucking great one. I absolutely love this. So allegedly, this writer for the New York Times or New York Post, one of those fucking publications, got into a sexting relationship with fucking Robert R.F. Kennedy Jr. You know who I'm talking about, right? He got exposed. He's fucking 70, bro. And this woman's like in her 30s or something. So 40 years her junior. This guy got into a little bit of a hanky-panky situation. Maybe just via text. And the whole situation around it is fucking hilarious. So from what they're fucking suggesting, this young lady, a journalist, was writing an article or just covering the presidential election or the nominees, and then I guess she was writing a op-ed or a quote-unquote hit piece on RFK Jr. She reaches out to him for comment, and in that kind of process of writing this piece, they get into some sort of personal relationship where they're obviously texting each other aside from the article, and then that kind of builds up to possibly RFK Jr. and that woman sexting, which might then possibly have led to now RFK Jr. and his wife, this lady from Modern Family, allegedly being on a bit of a break, and that journalist also having her engagement being broken off. Now the story come out. That's how fucking wild it is. And it all starts from RFK Jr. You wouldn't guess it. RFK Jr. was yapping. RFK Jr. was yapping to all of his fucking friends in Washington about what had happened and how this woman was sending him pictures and nudes and shit. And obviously that rumor and gossip got around town, and it got back to the fucking publication where that journalist works at. They investigated her, found all the evidence of it, and now she's also on leave. So loads of people's lives have been destroyed in a way, or on pause, because these two motherfuckers were sexting each other and sending each other nudes. But the details of it are fucking funny. So let's play this clip. This is courtesy, I think it's Access Hollywood, where they sort of like break down what actually happened. And then I'm going to obviously give you my comment as we go along as well. This is a hilarious story. I find it fucking hilarious. Oops. One second. Let me get the audio there. Sorry, apologies. I forgot to get the audio going. Is the audio there? Is the audio there? No, it isn't. Let me get the audio going. There you go. I should just put it there. Bear with me a second. Boom, boom. Let's get the audio and let's go.
Cheryl Hines has appeared to ditch her wedding ring after news broke of her husband Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s alleged personal relationship with New York Magazine reporter Olivia Nunzi. The actress was spotted in Milan over the weekend, where her prominent silver...
Hey, by the way, quiet is kept. Am I the only one that thinks RFK Jr.'s wife, this lady from Curb Your Enthusiasm, is way hotter than this Olivia Nunzi woman? I know this lady is older and that lady is younger and shit, but I think RFK Jr.'s actual wife is way more attractive than this younger lady. Like, really, for sure. Like, I think he was kind of going down a level, maybe or 2 levels. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd be insulted if I was a wife. Like, what? You stepped out on me for this? If you're gonna go for a young thing, at least go for like a proper, like, 10. That lady's or whatever, innit? She's just like, whatever. I think the wife is way hotter.
Silver wedding band appeared to be traded in for a different accessory. The Curb Your Enthusiasm star also celebrated her 59th birthday on September 21st in Italy without her husband, who was in Las Vegas campaigning for former President Donald Trump.
Man, isn't that a bitch? Isn't that a bitch? Speaking as a man, all my fellow men out there, isn't that a bitch? Isn't our timing so bad? You get caught for doing some fuck shit, and why does it always seem to happen around the time that makes you look like more of a scumbag? It was around the time of her birthday. that all this happened around the time that she was doing promotion work and whatever in Milan, maybe launching a movie, maybe doing a panel. Like, it always happens at the worst time you get caught doing your fuck shit. It almost looks like you're like, you know, trying to make their life a living hell. It almost seems like you're a horrible partner. Who would have guessed?
Her daughter Catherine, whom she shares with ex-husband Paul Young, was present at the celebrations, as was her stepdaughter Keira Kennedy.
Nah, okay, that's where I get pissed off. That's where I get fucking pissed off. That's where I get pissed off. Keira Kennedy. If this Keira Kennedy girl is RFK Jr.'s daughter, I'm pissed. If I'm the dad, this is what happens to men all the time. I know I'm a scumbag. I know I stepped out on your stepmom, but you're my fucking daughter. You stand here. You stay with me. Your lawyers are with me. Don't pick sides. Don't jump over there and be like, you know, yeah, I know, my dad's he's a monster. He did the same thing to my mum, actually. No. Don't turn your back on me. You stand here. You have to go down with the ship. You're mine. You're mine. Don't go over there. I know I'm the bad guy, but you stand here next to me. Honestly, bro. RFK Jr.'s lost. All, like, his stepdaughter don't talk to him. His biological daughter don't talk to him. His ex-wife don't talk to him. He lost everything. No one's standing next to RFK Jr. Nah, I'm pissed. If I'm the man. Why you? No! I know fucking hell.
Photos from the night were posted on Instagram. On Thursday, September 19th, New York Magazine addressed the alleged relationship between their prominent political reporter and the former 2024 independent presidential candidate, as they noted she was placed on leave while a third party investigates. Recently, our Washington correspondent, Olivia Nunzi, acknowledged to the magazine's editors that she had engaged in a personal relationship with a former subject relevant to the 2024 campaign while she was reporting on the campaign, a violation of the magazine's standards around conflicts of interest and disclosures. The magazine said in part, adding,
big up Chris Mack in a stream chat. Yeah, I'm aware of the daughters. I think that Kit Kennedy was I think she was dating Ben Affleck, they were saying, innit? When the alleged divorce with J-Lo happened, I remember I saw on social media, people were alleging that Kit Kennedy, which is one of RFK Jr.'s daughters, was allegedly dating Ben Affleck. Yeah. I know he's got a bunch of kids.
The magazine had been aware of this relationship, she would have not continued to cover the presidential campaign.
Oh, big up MC. Good fucking observation, MC. Good observation, MC. Yeah, she does look a little bit like Ellie Goulding, innit? Yeah, I think Ellie Goulding is way cuter, in my opinion. And also the voice on Ellie. Oh, there's a clip actually gone. I think it's on her Instagram. There might be a clip on it. Please, if you can, go on Ellie Goulding's Instagram. I think she covered a Weekend song. Oh, the pipes on that woman. She's so underrated. She's so over. I don't know if it's her, maybe because she's like a mum now and shit, but yo, the pipes on Ellie Goulding. She covers a Weekend song and it's fucking woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, she just kind of look like she looks like evil Ellie Goulding. That's what she looks like, evil Ellie Goulding. And big up Josie on the chat. I see you, Wagwan. The wife is way hotter than the journalist. Ain't even that good look. Exactly. But allegedly, from what I've been doing my Googles, allegedly this Olivia Nunzi, this lady on the screen, is well regarded as a journalist. She's highly rated and shit, and she's also seen as like a hottie. So I'd assume, again, I'm making assumptions here, but I would assume most journalists probably don't look like this. So I think in her field, she probably stands out because, you know, she looks like a conventionally attractive, like, blonde lady, but I don't think that means that she's a, you know, higher. I mean, I still think fucking RFK Jr.'s wife is way hotter, even without the fucking massive teeth.
An internal review of her published work has found no inaccuracies nor evidence of bias. Nunzi, who was engaged to Politico reporter Brian Lizza until the news broke, told CNN in a statement that the relationship was never physical, but added that she should have disclosed it, saying, "Earlier this year, the nature of some communication between myself and a former reporting subject turned personal. During that time, I did not directly report on the subject nor use them as a source."
Oh, that's a thing though, isn't it? Like, I wonder for women, right? Maybe we got maybe a couple on here. As a woman, like, what's actually, it doesn't mean, what's actually worse? Finding out somebody's being in, like, I guess that's maybe, is that emotionally cheating? Like they haven't met in real life, but they've just been like, you know, exchanging a lot of texts, very flirty texts. What's actually worse, finding that out or finding out that they fuck somebody else? But it wasn't that deep. It was just like a one-off, like a, you know, like a one night stand at a bar or something after work. What's actually worse? What's actually a worse betrayal? Finding out that somebody's actually got, you know, that I don't know. I would imagine if I could put my feet in a woman's feet or my woman's place, I would imagine the first one's worse. Finding like a string of messages, like of people like clearly that person emotionally cheating on you and speaking to somebody for a long time and forming this relationship on via texts where they're clearly very close and know a lot about each other and speak about how they can't wait to see each other. That I think would hurt me more than, oh yeah, I fucked the bartender, you know, after work or something. You know what I mean? You could maybe rationalize it and kind of get over that, but I don't think you could get over seeing that, oh, the time that my guy was pulling away from me, he was pulling closer to somebody else. And I didn't know, and the whole time it was under my nose, the whole time, like for like a year or maybe more than a year. Like, ooh.
The relationship was never physical, but should have been disclosed to prevent the appearance of a conflict. I deeply regret not doing so immediately and apologize to those I've disappointed, especially my colleagues at New York.
Yo, big up Josie. Yeah, true. Exactly. The emotional. But to be fair, you know. She did scrub up pretty well. This is a really nice outfit. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this outfit. The fucking the cat suit up, well, I guess was it cat suit or the cheetah print top thing and the red skirt. You know, so she was stepping out looking like an actress, looking like a model, but she's actually just a writer. So I guess RFK Jr. he couldn't resist. She kept texting him about PDFs and shit, right, and about bylines, and he was like, you know what, hey.
Meanwhile, an RFK spokesperson told NBC News, Mr. Kennedy only met Olivia Nunzi once in his life for an interview she requested, which yielded a hit piece. However, a Daily Beast report from Saturday claimed that RFK Jr. had spoke about intimate photos.
That's crazy, right? So it went from her writing a hit piece on him to them somehow, you know, turning that into a quasi-romantic relationship over Texas. Fuck. She's got some game.
Photos he received from Nunzi, and the gossip eventually made its way to Nunzi's boss and New York Magazine, who confronted her. She reportedly first denied the relationship before coming clean.
Yeah, that's the stuff I don't like. RFK Jr. the one, oh, come on, bro, come on. We're gonna stop now, we stopped? We stopped? Okay, let's stop. Let's stop, there you go, cool. Yeah, allegedly RFK Jr. was the one that blew up her whole spot, because he was yapping about it to people in Hollywood and shit, or I guess in Washington, about what happened. And I'm assuming Washington, like all, you know, like all fucking communities of adults, probably gossip travels very, very far and wide. You think you told just one person and suddenly by the end of the evening, everybody fucking finds out about what fucking happened in it. So probably not surprising how it played out, but bloody hell, man, RFK Jr. is a fucking wild boy, innit? Like, wild boy. At what point is it just like, at what point do you just stop? Like, is there never a time when you can just turn it off? Like, 70 years old and you're still out here trying to like lay pipe and fuck random fucking journalists and maybe bartenders and air stewardess. It's like, isn't it exhausting? Doesn't it get tiring after a while? Or maybe just certain guys just have it. They can't turn it off. I remember that was one thing I noticed when I bumped into a friend of mine, and you know, I'll keep the name confidential so they don't get embarrassed. But I remember bumping into a friend of mine recently, and like at like a shopping center, and I forgot what it was like to be like that because, you know, I just don't have that in me anymore. But when we were talking, like we bumped each other in a shopping center, his head was on a pivot the whole entire time. He was like a fucking meerkat on cocaine. He was going left to right to left. Everyone, any woman that passed with a heartbeat, with a semblance of a shape, he was like, oh yeah, you see that? I was like, bro, no, I didn't. I'm talking to you. I'm not fucking scanning the room at the same time and oogling random girls' bums and shit and breasts and whatever. I'm talking to you at the moment. I can't keep up with everything going on at the same time. I was getting a little bit dizzy. I was like, nah, bro, I didn't see it, man. I didn't see it. I remember thinking like, rah, I forgot, man. I forgot what it's like to be like that guy, because I used to be that guy too. Where like you'd be like walking like, oh shit, you see a bum, oh shit. I used to be that guy where to the point where I'll be on a bus, and if I saw a girl's bum from the far, I'd run off the bus, run across the street, run down the street, and try and talk to them and get their number. Now, thinking back now at my stage in life now, it seems fucking insane to run off a bus, to run across the street, run down the street, or run across a road, run down the street to go and ask a stranger for their number. It seems almost bordering on the line of harassment. But that's something we all did at a time, right? You went to get numbers, you went to hook up with somebody, blah, 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 blah. You did what you did. But at a certain age, a certain stage, it's like, you know what, it's a little bit uncouth. It's a little bit barbaric. If anything, let's go to a bar, let's go to a party somewhere. I don't know, let's just go hang out somewhere. And then maybe in that scenario, I can maybe talk to somebody that way and it's a bit more cool, whatever. But I'm not going to be like walking around like a high street somewhere and just be like twisting my neck every 10 minutes when somebody mildly attractive kind of walks by me. It's just exhausting. I honestly forgot what it's like. But I also thought maybe that kind of guy, who's a friend of mine who I've known since school, maybe that's the type that ends up like a R.F. Kennedy Jr., where even when you're 70, you still switched on. You can't ever turn it off. So even if a girl gives you little fluttering eyes, you still have to kind of pursue it, because you can probably harmlessly flirt until you're fucking dead in the ground. Cool, but do you really need to be fucking exchanging nudes and be doing all that and trying to meet people up and stuff and having affairs and flings and meeting and different phones and like, what? Are you not tired? Like, surely that time in your life is like super young when you've got the energy to even do it, to keep up this that's the thing that's really exhausting about that type of personality, that kind of guy that's like constantly cheating, constantly on it, constantly there. You have to also have a different identity, persona. You have to kind of keep up the lie. Well, I'm going to football training. Oh yeah, who are you talking to? Oh yeah, my friend. Saving people as different names in your phone book all the time. Like you have to keep that up. All like you're still doing that now. Like honestly, when I was hanging with my friend that day, I was like, wow, man, I couldn't believe it. I was like, shit, you're still doing this. And I'm not sure about you guys, but the shopping center where I live in my area, most shopping centers, who frequents them? Who frequents shopping centers? Like walking around and just drinking slushies and looking cute and eating fucking pretzels and donuts. Who does that? Mostly young kids. That's what also worried me. I was like, bruh, you're my age and you're in a shopping center twisting your head up like a cocaine-fueled meerkat, oogling girls that are probably north of 20. South of 20. Maybe under 18 even. And it's like, god damn, that gets dark very quickly. That gets dark very quickly. It's one thing if you're like in the finance district of your area where everybody works in offices and shit, and you're oogling all these office workers coming in and out of buildings. Cool, because they're most likely all grown-ups and actual big women. But being in a shopping center and you're like thirsting over all these girls who are literally drinking slush puppies that are like rainbow colored and bubble teas and shit, and they've all got crop tops, like they're doing what all young girls do, and you're like staring at them like you're like, god damn it, these girls could be your little sisters, bro. Like, please, composure. But hey, I'm judging from afar. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm missing out. Who fucking knows, man? I swear to God, it's fucking wild. Big up Chris Mack. He was a heroin addict in his youth. Yeah, I'm not surprised. He looks like he's lived a life. RFK Jr. looks like he's lived a life. That's what you can say. I think that's why people liked him too. He spoke from the heart, or he speaks from the heart, and he's also lived a life. And he also comes from a family that's suffered a lot. I mean, that family has suffered a lot. The Kennedys haven't had an easy run at it at life. Like, they're privileged and shit, whatever, but they have suffered like so much loss, so much death, so much pain. So maybe it's what people connect with. You know what I mean? Like, he's like a real guy. Weirdly enough, he's actually a real guy. That's actually really real. You know what I mean? He's cheating on his wife. He's got millions of kids. His family's all fucked up. Like he's actually a realer guy than most. He's actually realer than most. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Yeah, big up MC. I'm glad to be 36 and less of a dog. It's such a waste of energy, money, and chase physical pleasure. Exact, and that's the thing as well. And it's not even like, I think a lot of dudes. Maybe I'm not the best. Maybe I'm not the best person to speak about this sort of shit, because I've never really like struggled like to get girls or anything, but I've never also cared that much. So I think it's different, because I can't sit here from my high horse, because I think if you're a guy that actually has always struggled and it's been something that you actually care about, it's probably hard or near on impossible to turn it off, because that's what fucking motivates you to do everything in your life. The reason why you make money, the reason why you dress the way you do, drive the cars that you drive, you know, talk about the things that you talk about, is because you want to attract women. You know what I mean? So for those guys, I don't really, you know what I mean? Do you enjoy yourself, have a good time. But I think for everybody else, like, you have to have faith. You have to have phases in your life. Like, you have to get over it. At some point, you just got to like settle down or just chill a little bit. Even if you don't settle down, just chill. This guy I was with, like, honestly, like, I swear he was making me dizzy. On God, he was making me dizzy. Was like, you know, you're going for a shopping center. I think I was going to return something at Uniqlo, walking through, hey, what's going on? We bump into each other and we kind of meet each other near the front entrance. So maybe it was a worse place to meet because everyone's coming in and out. And honestly, he was scanning and pivoting his head like every couple of seconds. It was honestly crazy. And then he kind of be like, oh my God, do you see her? Do you see that? You see that? Asking me if I saw something. And I didn't see the person. I didn't see them. I'm sorry, I'm talking to you. You're my friend. I'm glad I bumped into you. It's been a long time. Like, I'm glad to kind of catch up quickly. I didn't see the person that you saw. And even if I did, so what? Oh, I saw a girl with a big bum. And? Like, it's like, they're everywhere. It doesn't matter. Honestly, I was like, oh my God, man. He honestly gave me a bit of a migraine just speaking to him about it. I was like, and again, it's not even, it's just like, there has to come a point where you just stop. But I guess some guys don't, you know? Some guys just don't stop. So it's okay. Everybody's got their time they're gonna stop if they don't stop. Big up Don Dot in the chat. Well gone, my guy. Considering how the Kennedys came up in the game, is karma coming back to collect the interest? Come on. Let RFK Jr. have some fun. Big up Don Dotter. You're probably right though. Big up Moonlit as well in the chat. I got randomly recommended this randomly in my feed. I like your look. Oh, big up, man. Appreciate you. My look is a bit bad today. I'm not gonna lie. My look is a bit bad today because my webcam has failed me. My webcam doesn't actually work at the moment, so I'm actually broadcasting to you live via my MacBook fucking FaceTime camera. That's why I look the way that I do. My actual webcam failed, unfortunately. But the good thing about videos, I think on YouTube, something that I've learned actually from Casey Neistat, I remember he said that before, the key to good videos on YouTube isn't the actual visuals, it's the audio. So as long as your mic sounds good, the video doesn't really matter. And I think he's onto something. You could have like 360p videos, which I usually kind of have, but if the audio is good, people put up with it. But if you have, you know, bad video and bad audio, people are gonna run away. But either way, glad you're here, Moonlit. Wagwan, and I see you as well. Who I see? I see I see Young on Vibes. I see Big Up Josie. I didn't even think about that when you said that, but that is incredible. Yep, audio is king. Oh. Audio is king, B. Anybody else sometimes end up saying chauvinisms in their everyday life by accident, and it becomes a normal thing now. Like, now I always say narrative. I never can say narrative properly. I always say narrative. Always. Oh my God. Big up Shorb. By the way, random show coming at you in about 50 minutes, okay? So bear with me. About 50 minutes, we're going to do a random show straight after this. And random show will be on my other channel, which is this channel here. I'm going to put it into the YouTube, into the chat, sorry. Bear with me 1 second here. So random show will be coming at you in 50 minutes after I finish this particular episode. So don't be alarmed if you're not seeing the random show in a while, but random show will be available on this particular channel in about 50 minutes, okay? 50 minutes we'll do a random show, and then I'm going to stop and obviously go to the gym for a bit. I need to work out, and then we're going to do another one again later in the evening for those of you that are going to miss out. But this is the random show channel that'll be available in about 50 minutes, okay? Cool. Sarlux, what? Cool. I'll do like, so yeah, okay, Sarlux. What I'll do a random show now after this, and I'll do another one in 4 hours for you. No worries. So it will start as per normal then. I'll start it at like UK time, my time, 11 p.m., which I usually do. So the second part, the part 2 of the random show will be about 11 p.m. The part 1 will be straight after this, okay? So I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Look at me. Customer service Aggie. Customer service Aggie. By the way, quickly wanted to mention this before we continue here. I've been up in the stream chat here. Let's go. Let's say this. Man, thoughts and feelings go out to fucking former Man United and Real Madrid defender Raphael Varane. Unfortunately, he was forced to retire due to injury. So big up Raphael Varane. Hopefully, he does have a good retirement. Really, really sad how it's panned out for him. I was one of the fans, United fans, hand on heart, who thought that we let him go too early. I thought that we needed to kind of keep him as cover. Even if he wasn't going to be starting all the time, I thought his experience and his quality would be crucial. But you have to give Ineos and the coaching staff and the medical team a lot of credit. We kind of dodged the bullet. Let's be honest, because if we would have kept Raphael Varane, that most likely meant we wouldn't have signed the lit. It most likely meant we maybe wouldn't have signed the lit or Euro, but we got both of those guys. And obviously they've improved our quality at centre back. But then obviously Varane got released and then I think went to Como in Italy, but unfortunately wasn't able to kind of, I don't think he played even 1 game for them. I think he got fit and then immediately his knee gave out. And if you know anything about Raphael Varane's career, you would know that he's always had a really dodgy knee. Ever since at Real Madrid, even before that, I forgot the club he played for in France. I think it might have been Metz or something, but whatever club he played for previously in France, he's always had a very dodgy knee. It's kind of been a niggling injury that's plagued his career, but he's kind of been able to manage it. And obviously he won loads of titles, won loads of Champions Leagues, been super successful for France. But unfortunately, towards the end of his career, it's kind of gave way. And really and truly for a centre-back, 31 is like really young. Especially nowadays, like you can still play into your like late 30s, even early 40s, especially the way that he plays. He's very good on the ball and stuff, very composed. So the fact that he's having to retire now is going to be a real big blow to it, because he probably thought he probably could had, if he was fit and didn't have any injuries, I think he could have played into his 40s easily, especially given his style. So it's really a shame he's been forced to retire, but it's a good thing that he gets the chance to choose kind of to retire and he's not having to kind of leave the game on a stretcher. Do you know what I mean? At least he's able to walk and stuff, because a lot of players sometimes they push it too much and they legitimately can't walk. They have to, like, you know, they're in their 30s and they're riding around in carts and shit or walking with a cane. So thoughts and feelings go out to Raphael Varane, and hopefully he's able to kind of bounce back from this and maybe go into coaching, punditry or something. He's quite good on the camera, to be honest, as well. He speaks English too, so that obviously will help him. So hopefully that is able to happen sometime in the future. But thoughts and feelings go to Varane. Let's quickly read the article. It says here, Varane joined Italian side Como on a free transfer in July, but suffered a knee injury on his debut against Sampdoria last month. The centre-back says he will still stay at the club in a non-playing role. Great to see. Good, class move by Como, by the way, to keep him at the club just as a non-playing role, so maybe supporting the team. That's good. I hold myself in a high standard. I want to go out strong. I'm not just holding on to the game. I love that. It takes a big dose of courage to listen to your heart and your instincts. I love that too. Varane began his career at French side Lens and spent 1 season of the first team before joining Real Madrid in 2011. He enjoyed a glittering 10-year career in Spanish capital, winning 18 trophies, including 3 La Liga titles and 4 Champions Leagues. God almighty, bro. He won it all, innit? All these players, whenever they win it all and they come to United, it must be such a downgrade, isn't it? Imagine winning 3 La Liga titles, 4 Champions Leagues, and then coming to United and having to play behind like Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford and shit. Fucking hell. The defender moved to Old Trafford in summer 2021, finished a fee of 34 million, going on to make 94 5 appearances. He won the Carabao Cup in 2022 and his final appearance for the club, as well as the FA Cup final victory over rivals at Wembley in May. So he went out on a high, at least with us. Varane made his France debut in 2013 and earned 93 caps, winning the World Cup in 2018, the Nations League in 2021, and reaching the World Cup final again in 2022. I have fallen and risen 1,000 times, and this time is the moment to stop and hang my boots up and be with my final game winning trophy at Wembley. I have no regrets. I wouldn't change a thing. I have won more than I could have dreamed of, but beyond the accolades and trophies, I'm proud that no matter what, I've stuck to my principles of being sincere and tried to leave everywhere better than I found it. I hope I've made all you proud. Now, you definitely have, brother. Raphael Varane doesn't need to worry about that. He's made all of us proud. He played a huge part in United's kind of semi-resurgence. He was definitely a positive to the team. Definitely allowed fans like myself alleviate our fears. When he played, we knew we were going to be calm. So I'm happy that he was able to contribute to our history and shit. He continues, says, a new life begins off the pitch. I'll remain with Como, just without using my boots and shin pads. Something I'm looking forward to sharing more about soon. Cool. Let's see, man. Let's see. So, what you call it? Happy retirement to Raphael Varane, United legend, Real Madrid legend. Hopefully he enjoys his retirement and can't wait to see what he does in the future going forward. Can't wait to see what he does in the future going forward. Let's continue. Let's freaking continue. So, let's continue and say this. R.I.P. to Young Dolph, right? R.I.P. to Young Dolph. Always one of my favorite rappers. R.I.P. to Young Dolph. But if this was me, can you imagine being a lady and finding out your guy was stepping out on you because of, you know, how they died and the evidence of what was left on them when they died? So as you can see here via the screen, somebody shared screenshot pictures that looks like from the court case of Young Dolph, where his murderers are now being convicted or going on trial for his murder. Young Dolph is a rapper, by the way, who got unfortunately murdered by his rivals while buying some cookies in some store. They got the drop on him, sprayed the shop with bullets. Unfortunately, he passed away. Obviously, this is the clothes that were found on him while he was there. And look at what, obviously they found a shirt covered in fucking bullet holes, all the little squares there. Fucking tragic. R.I.P. to Dolph. And there's more shirts there with more bullet holes. But look at what was found in these pockets. Imagine that. A stack of cash, a watch, some credit cards, and a condom. Oh, bro. You're dead? And your wife or the mother of your children, who you've now left widowed, is wishing you the worst. You are dead. You died in the worst way possible. And she is wishing you the worst, bro. This is how they find out that you were stepping out. This is how they find out that you were a dog. DAWG. Because of the solitary condom that you had in your pocket, just in case. It's that saying, innit? They say, innit? I think my mum used to say it all the time when I was a kid, and I'd get fucking angry about it all the time because, it doesn't even make any sense. But now you get older, you start to realize it's true. Anything that happens in the dark always comes to the light. And most of the time, anything that happens in the dark comes to the light at the most inappropriate, inconvenience time possible. The timing is always like super inconvenient. The timing couldn't be worse. And this is one of them. Tragic situation, everybody should be mourning your death, and instead, now everyone's kind of, or the wife you'd imagine is probably questioning the whole relationship and what happened. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And probably questioning the grief and whether or not they should feel bad for you. All these weird conflicting emotions running around. Like, I can't imagine, man. I can't fucking imagine. Imagine that being found out on that sort of day. Bloody wild. So R.I.P. Young Dolph. R.I.P. Young Dolph. Next, I want to also talk about this. Marquise Brownlee, aka MKBHD, in my opinion, the best, if not one of the best, if not the best tech reviewer on YouTube, and somebody who I watch all of his videos. And that's not something I can say for every YouTube creator. Most people, even myself included, I would imagine, you probably skip around to parts that you're interested in the videos, whatever it may be. But I think MKBHD and maybe some of the comic book channels that I follow might be the only channels that I watch the videos from the start to the end. Legit. I fucking love his content. I love fucking his car channel. I love everything. Love even a podcast. I'm always fucking watching it. And, you know, for tech reviewers, especially nowadays, a lot of them are compromised. A lot of them are in the pockets of certain tech companies. And it's hard to really, you know, be able to gauge who's actually being honest and sincere and isn't, you know, basically shilling for whatever company. And I think Marquise Brownlee's done a good job of building his reputation and kind of as the honest guy, as a truth teller guy. But unfortunately, his venture into starting his own business or application has been disastrous. So he's obviously somebody that's known for being very critical, very harsh, having very high standards for tech, which I love. He's a very big believer in, like, if you show something in a demo but it's not in a ship product, I don't give a fuck. Or if you send me a trial version of something, but that version won't be available to general consumers, it's also not a good reflection on what you made, and kind of is a bit deceitful and shit. So I love that he speaks honestly and speaks clearly about that sort of stuff, right? He kind of essentially is in our corner, like the general public. But this is very grifty, very scandalous. So he's being kind of quote unquote cancelled online because he decided to launch this app for wallpapers. Yeah, you heard it right. An application where you can get bespoke, designed by artists, allegedly, wallpapers, and you pay a subscription for it. Make it worse. So I think the subscription, from what I saw, was like $50. So you pay $50 a month and you get access to a library full of very well done wallpapers, allegedly. And he said that they're not AI, they've all been done by actual artists, and they've all been made specifically for that application. Let me read you his tweet. So he says, the tweet here, I'm so pumped to be launching this app. People have asked where I get wallpapers forever. And for this answer, now and forever, will be Panels. So his company is called Panels. And that's where you basically go to get your wallpapers. And it's like, bruh, you can't be going so hard at all these AI companies, all these tech companies, all these car companies, really questioning them, challenging them to make really... or challenging them on what they make and what they offer and what the value is on what they do, blah, blah, blah. You can't have all these high standards for these tech companies. And the moment you make your own sort of thing, what you put out is this shit. It's really, really, it's really underwhelming, but it also goes to show you that sometimes just because you review things and you're passionate about the things that you speak about, maybe you're a really passionate fan or enthusiast or whatever, doesn't mean you're going to be the best creator. But it also kind of just shows the level of, or the lack, or just how hard it is actually to innovate and create new interesting things. Because I think nowadays in tech, I think we've all seen it with the iPhone. I've at the moment, I think, what have I got? I've got the iPhone, I don't even know what model I have. I have the iPhone... What do I have? I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max. I don't think I'm ever gonna upgrade. On God, I don't think I'm ever gonna upgrade anytime soon. The phones haven't really changed. Like I could have hold on to my 12 or my 13 if I wanted to. I got an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I think most of you out there are probably the same. Whatever smartphone you have, there's probably no need really to upgrade. They all do the kind of the same thing. The form hasn't really changed that much. So tech nowadays is kind of it's a bit of an impasse. It's kind of plateaued a little bit. There's not really much innovation. No one's really doing anything interesting out there. So you would hope when someone like a Marquise Brownlee maybe steps into the ring and tries to dip his toes in there, maybe he's going to try and do something more interesting. Maybe he's going to try and shake things up a little bit and kind of challenge people and kind of, show these tech companies how to do it and really give us, the fans, something to kind of shout home about. Instead, he gave us an app. He gave us an app for wallpapers, bro. Wallpapers. And people are going crazy. People are really, really going crazy about it and are being really upset about it. So let me read some of the comments on here. Let's read some of the comments. Somebody says here, this is exciting. Congrats. Awesome feature and real artist. That said, please review the permissions being requested. There's a lot of stuff. And I know it's mostly just used for ads, not claiming you're being nefarious or anything. Another one says, all right, I'll be the one to say it. I really don't want to be that guy. It feels a little late now, doesn't it? What's stopping me from asking AI to create a unique, high quality wallpaper that no one else will have? I'm leaving the door open for you to prove me wrong. Let's continue. I hope to see the YouTube video showcasing your app proving me the skeptic wrong. I generally wish you continued success. No sarcasm. I truly mean it. And obviously Marquise replies and says, these are all made by artists who can choose to involve AI or not on their process. It'll be up to you to know how much you value the human touch. So what? So it is AI then. So it's a library of... He made an app where you can get... By the way, I didn't understand. Maybe tell me differently. I didn't know wallpapers was that big of a deal anyway. I didn't know that was big. I didn't know it was that big of a deal. I didn't know people worried or were very picky about their wallpaper to this extent where stores where you could buy particular wallpapers were like a thing. I didn't know that was even a thing. I swear to God. I follow certain accounts on Twitter that post really cool wallpapers that they just basically give away for free. I forgot even the account. I've been a few of them. I'm sure there's probably some on Instagram. There's literally a Twitter account that I follow that just has like, oh, retro this or whatever, cool landscape. And you can basically just like download it onto your phone. So I never even knew it was like a thing that, oh, people were really eager and seeking out bespoke, premium, high quality, hard to find, It's like, huh? Wallpaper? Really? What the fuck? And then somebody replied here and says, no, you're right. $50 is absurd for fresh wallpapers in 2024. Maybe there's some people out there willing to pay it, but you can create your own for free on any AI service. Exactly. Maybe pre-AI, this would be a thing. But nowadays, like, why would you pay this much amount of money for like stuff that you can make yourself? Like, it's not that big of a deal. It continues. Another one says, are you handpicking here? Another one says here, as someone that reviews software for a living, this is not good. The intent is potentially amazing. You want to lift up artists and creators, but the execution is flawed. To maybe quote your own word, a victim of its future ambition. What did he say? He has some key things to solve. What did he say here to solve? Actually, we don't care. Another one says here, deciding whether to waste $50 on crappy wallpapers for an app, or just search Upsplash or Google for free and get high quality wallpapers, or just Google images and not waste any money at all. Exactly. Exactly. And it's so sad because I'm wondering, in this, basically the point of this story, by the way, I'm just wondering, is this inevitable? Do we all end up being grifters? Is there a scenario in the future where eventually I too will end up being a grifter along my content creating journey? Will I at some point get on here and be like, Shade, Raid Shadow Legend? Like, will I be that guy? Will I be like sports betting guy at one point? Will I be trying to fucking tell you, what's that headphone? What's that headphones that Ray J makes? What's that fucking called? Like, is that what happens? Because Marquise Brownlee, MKBHD, has been on YouTube since he was like 12. He's like maybe in his late 20s, maybe. He's been making millions, I would imagine, from YouTube for a long time. This guy isn't hurting for money. Plus, he works in tech. If working in tech and being an influencer and somebody people go to for their information and shit, and, you know, being very, very well respected, being flown out by fucking Apple and all these companies, if that means what I think it means for in other fields like in fashion and shit, most likely he gets a lot of stuff free also, right? So not only does he get paid a lot of money for what he does very well, he also gets sent a lot of stuff for free. He has this amazing warehouse complex that he works at where he has his studio, runs his podcast, and have his channels and shit. So it's not like he's hurting for money. He also sells, I think, what does he sell? Doesn't he sell like, I think it's phone cases, or maybe, no, I think he had a very good partnership with Ridge Wallet. I think that's what I remember. I think the first place I saw people advertising Ridge Wallet, I think, was through MKBHD. So it's not like Marcus Brownlee is hurting for money. But if Marquise Brownlee, if MKBHD is trying to grift and shill wallpapers, a wallpaper subscription app, most likely the money is insane. Most likely the margins are just too good to turn down. So I wonder, is grifting just something that people like us on the outside say is bad because we've never been offered a grift, a contract, an opportunity to grift? But once the opportunity gets presented to you, the numbers are just too good to turn down because everyone does it. Everybody does it. Even the most respected, well-liked, revered people that we all love and watch, eventually they all end up being fucking grifters. And usually in the worst, it's never stuff that you want either. It's usually the most horriblest, shittiest, lowest hanging fruit, low effort, no, like, this is just taking up digital space. This is like digital crap. You know, it belongs on a landfill somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's not even necessary. Do we need another service again? Another fucking library of images? Like, really? Isn't there enough slop out there? What do you guys think? Do we all end up being grifters in the end? God, I hope not. Yeah, exactly. Big up MC. Yeah, it seems everybody does it. But certain personalities seek out fame and money in the first place. Raycon. Yeah, no. I think me being the sensible, pragmatic person that I am, I don't have a problem with somebody securing the future of their family or taking care of their bills or taking care of their family clearly through that kind of grift or shill. I can see through that. I think most of us can differentiate when somebody's new in the game and I don't know, they get a promo for fucking, AGI, I don't know, some fucking vitamin nonsense shit. They know they don't take, but they know they took that deal because they just need to fucking make sure they can pay their rent, they can fucking cover their mortgage, and I mean, you're kind of like turning a blind eye to it because you know that creator's just got started. They're probably not making that much on AdSense. So you know what? Let him do his little deal with his ad company because we know it's going to help him out in the long run and kind of hold him down. But the thing that confuses me are the creators who are clearly doing well. They don't have a need to grift. They don't have a need to shield. They're already doing well vis-a the content they already make. They're doing very well. They have a very healthy and fucking popping Patreon. They make products already. They're selling. The YouTube is going fucking crazy. And on top of that, they still grift. It's like the whole stuff going on down with like Tim Pool and all these kind of guys where they've all been exposed because they were inadvertently, in their opinion, working with the Russian government because they were putting out videos, propaganda shit on some channel, and they were getting paid like $400,000+ to put out these videos on this fucking dead channel, but they had no idea that it was funded by the Russian government, allegedly, according to them. But still, why are you taking this money? Why are you so quick to like do these like nefarious, shifty side things? Like, what's going on? Like, it's as if they can never turn down a check. That's a weird thing. That's the thing I've never understood. Like you do stuff that you do for fun and you get paid for it. Amazing. Well done. Congrats. You're living a dream. But then you get given this opportunity to make extra money doing stuff that you don't care for, and you just take it for taking its sake. You don't need to take it. You're doing good. Why do you just taking it for? Leave it to the side. But I guess it's easier said than done from my point of view. Maybe when somebody presents you an opportunity and says, hey, if you make this wallpaper app and you charge people $50, and let's say it cost you $1 or something, or maybe let's say $5 per person to make this site, the margins you're making per person is crazy, right? $45 per user, you times that by 100, you know what I mean? You're looking at some crazy numbers. So maybe when someone presents you that sort of opportunity, it's like, it's very hard to say no to. Maybe. Blah, blah, blah. Exactly. Big up Z. He would have been better off just investing in someone else's good idea than doing this. Exactly. Let's scroll down. Another person said here, pretty disappointed in this. Doesn't have the polished design I expected. Seems like something that's been on the App Store already, that you slapped your name on it. Ads everywhere, and it just feels like a cash grab to me. Oh, wow. See, I haven't even seen it on the App Store. But this person's saying it doesn't even look good. If you're going to sell me this slop, at least make it look bespoke, or make it look like it's been designed by you and everything has been considered. But he's making it seem like this might be like a white label. Is it a white label? Whatever. Is it white label? I think so. It's a term. Where you just slap your name on something that's already been done and you make it sound like or seem like you did it yourself when you actually didn't do it. Oh, come on, MKBHD. Please don't be that guy. Please don't be that guy that just like slapped his name on something and you're now trying to make it seem like you did it. Oh, he just lent his name and likeness to some brand. Fuck, man. The grifting shilling thing. No one's immune to it, man. No one's immune to it. Even MKBHD, a fucking world famous YouTuber. How do we submit wallpapers? Dude, congrats. Search on Twitter, wallpapers, and you'll see. Why is everyone mad? Bro, just download a JPEG from YouTube, from internet. Uninstalled after 60 seconds. The wallpapers are nowhere near worth $50,000. Sorry, $50 per month. $50 a year, sorry, annual subscription for wallpapers. $50 a year for wallpapers and not a single high-res wallpaper downloadable for free with ads. Love Team MKBHD and all, but this is crazy. Google already built this. Maybe ease up on the data linked and the used to track a wallpaper app doesn't need my location. Imagine that. Do you want to turn on a location? Do you want to open an account? Huh? God almighty. I hate this, man. I hate this so much. Jesus, it's 2024, and Marquise has decided to throw his reputation into the toilet. I guess anything could have. From this point. Anything could have happened. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the thing that's so weird, though. He's got such an immaculate reputation online, especially for like a public figure, influencer type person. He's one of the rare ones. Like, I don't think MKBHD has any haters, apart from that one car company that he criticized and they ended up going under afterwards. Like, he has literally no haters. Why would you do this yourself? Dude, is this a joke? Wallpaper app is monthly subscription. Give me a break. Number one, most phone users use their phone for personal photos as wallpapers. Exactly. That's such a good point. Big up this person, Praveen. Most phone users use their own personal photos. Exactly. Most people that I know, especially people that I work with at work, everyone's phone is either a picture of their wife, their husband, their dog, their kid, like some family member, a trip they went on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, only losers like myself have like weird Game Boy, like little, do you know what I mean? Most normal people just have a picture of their loved one. Who fucking needs to buy wallpapers? Like, what? There are literally millions of abstract wallpapers on the web, subscription based. Oh, this is the best meme, by the way. This is the best fucking meme to end this fucking subject on. This is the best meme. So MKBHD was like the was the Undertaker. He took out all these fucking AI companies. By the way, what happened to that AI pin? I'm not sure what happened to that AI company pin where it would fucking beam the thing on your hand. I think you know, function wise it seemed like a good idea, but practicality was a bit all over the place. That orange one was really good. The rabbit, the R1, I love the design, but it just didn't work. I think it was made by the company Teenage Engineering, one of my favorite product design studio company places out there. They make some fucking cool shit, super overpriced and very expensive and very premium. But design-wise, the stuff they make is fucking fantastic. They got this mic, actually, they released recently. This fucking condenser mic that's fucking beautiful. But that company's dead. Tim Cook, I think he kind of defeated. I think that was recently because of the new... that might be because of the new iPhone. Or maybe was it because of the iPhone? Or maybe it's, I don't know what that was for, actually. And now, obviously, they're saying that he took out himself. So, fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. It makes me think of that quote. What is it? You stare long enough into the abyss ends up staring right back at you, or something like that, right? Fucking hell. Or that other one about you live long enough to you end up being the villain as well. I forgot what that quote is. I fucking butchered it, but you know what I mean. But yeah, thoughts and feelings go out to fucking Marquise Brownlee, MKBHD, for fucking up his reputation. Hopefully he bounces back, because I love the guy. I fucking love the guy, and I hope this is just like a one-off thing, right? So, moving on. Moving on. Can we talk about this quickly, please? This young lady, I think she's called London Hughes. Let's talk about London Hughes a minute. London Hughes was going viral on social media because she posted this very, what I thought was run-of-the-mill observation about her life and relationship history and dating lifestyle choices, whatever malarkey. But the internet completely blew up on it, and it just, I don't know, it kind of pissed me off in general. So I wanted to play it for you and just share a little bit of my opinions about what I think about it and some of my frustrations and just fatigue about the whole dating relationship, conversation online. Maybe it's my timeline. Maybe I need to change up who I follow in my algorithm. But I feel like every other week there's some conversation around like dating, relationship, sex. It's like, bro, is this all you guys think about every fucking single day? Like, aren't you fucking bored? But anyway, maybe I'm talking out my ass. Let's play this clip because I'm fascinated to know what some of you may think about this particular clip.
Okay, quickly before I go out, the girlies want to know if black British women are not dating black British men. Who are they dating? The answer is, we're dating white guys. Both my ex-boyfriends in the UK were white. I'll tell you the type of white, like liberal white men. Like if you watch Love is Blind UK, Benaya, I was dating Benayas, and dating Benayas was great. They treat you very well compared to my other option, which was not dating at all, because the black men in my circles weren't checking for me. They were very much exclusively only dating white women, and they let me know. And to the black men that I did date, some of them had internalized racism. So there was things about my blackness they didn't like. So, for example, I'm not seen as attractive in the UK. yeah, I'm not, I mean, I'm all right, but I led with my personality more because I just didn't think I had the looks. And it was black men telling me that I didn't have the looks. Like, some of the worst names I've ever been called ever in my life have been from black British men. So I remember I dated a black guy and he wouldn't like it if I took off my wigs at night to sleep. He wanted me to sleep with my wig on because he didn't like my 4C hair. And I would date like white guys, like liberal white guys that, you know, at times would, when I'm too tired, would take my wig off for me and put it on a wig stand and brush it out. So, yeah, I think that black British women have decided to just go where we're wanted and where we're adored. And if that's white men, it's white men. And love is love and be happy. But yeah, I noticed, and we kind of all noticed that, like, a lot of black men in the UK have a preference, and it's not us. But since moving to America, I've only ever dated black men. And I want to thank, again, America, sorry to be up your ass, but I didn't think I was cute until I moved here. Like, oh my God, I get approached by black men here and I get to date black men here for the first time in my adult life. I'm dating black men. So, yeah, it's nice to be adored by your own kind. And that's never really happened for me in the UK. And a lot of dark-skinned women feel that way because, like I said, the type of a lot of black men in the UK is white women or racially ambiguous, and I am neither. So yeah.
This topic is so tiring and so boring. Like, from what I've been able to observe from the outside looking in, obviously I'm not a woman. I'm definitely not a black woman, so I can't speak to the majority of the experience or get it right on the nose because I'm not these people. I understand. But from my limited experience, especially growing up in this country, most of the dating preferences or most of the dating options are mostly dictated by where you live or who you hang around in, societally, work-wise, job-wise. That's all. For instance, if you're black and you live up north, the likelihood of you dating somebody that's not black is very high because guess what? There's not a lot of black people up north. That's it. But then if you then move into a particular work area, career, that might mean that you're not around people that look like you, guess what's going to happen? If you spend enough time around people like that, the likelihood of you finding somebody that is your partner is going to be high too. It's not even about, I'm sure there are guys, and I've heard of them. I've played football with some of these guys. I know those guys do exist. Those black guys who exclusively only date white women, especially a particular type like blondes and stuff or whatever. Cool. But everyone has their preference. But I think in general, those guys are a minority. I swear on my life, I personally think, and this is just me talking out of my ass, I think most human beings in the world are open to love in all shapes and sizes, all colors and creeds. We don't give a fuck. As long as that person treats us nice, loves us down, wants to spend time with us, cares about us, our family approves, we're game. Most people. But there are, I think, a small niche of people who I think people hyper-focus on who have preferences. I personally think racial preferences are really weird, in my opinion. I think it's kind of racist in itself to say, I only date this particular race. It's a bit strange. I've always thought it was. But people have their preferences. Run. Do your thing. Enjoy. Love is love. But for some reason, on the internet, people hyper-focus on people who have racial preferences and think that speaks for everybody else. It doesn't. Everything else is more complicated and more nuanced and is really dictated about where you live, what job you have, what career you have, what stage of life you're at, blah, 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 socioeconomic. It's all a bit muddled. It's not as simple as just, oh yeah, I only date white, I only date black. It's not the case. It's not the case at all. It really isn't. Because I bet you most likely, if you hang around a group of people who are maybe more mixed and stuff, regarding your career, the likelihood of you maybe bumping into somebody that maybe looks like you and finding love is also high. But I honestly think this is just a wrong conversation to have in general anyway. Especially nowadays, given all the shows that exist on given all the shows that exist on TV. Observation here. And I don't watch any of them because it's just not my vibe, but I think everybody else does, so they're clearly popular. I'm the minority. I don't watch most of these dating shows. I don't watch reality TV in general anyway, but they're very popular, these shows. they're probably popular for two reasons. They're very entertaining, they're good, you know, and most likely they speak to something. With the prevalence of these shows, it would lead me to believe that a lot of people struggle to find love. If that's the case, surely the conversation should move away from, oh, he's white, he's black, she's this, she's that. It should move around from how to find somebody compatible, how to find love, whatever that conversation is. That maybe should be a far more interesting conversation to maybe explore, so people can maybe avoid problems, avoid finding somebody that treats them bad, blah, 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 breaks their heart, lets them down, all this malarkey. That might be a better way to go down it than like, oh, black and white, white and black, this guy, this. It's like, come, what are we doing here? As the great philosopher fucking Brendan Schaub would say, what are we doing here? It makes no sense. I'm tired of it. Oh, woman who lives in England struggles to find black men that are into her, moves to North America, maybe to a state where there's a lot of black people, and then suddenly finds, oh, black guys are into me. Who would have thought it? You move to an area where there's more black people and suddenly more black people are into you. Duh. Like, why is this news? Why is this news? This woman was living with what? Where was she living? In fucking Chelsea. She's living in Fulham, struggling to find a mate that looked like her. Then she moved to Atlanta and then she's surprised. Oh, wow, black guys are into me. Well, duh, you moved to Atlanta. It's like fucking Wakanda over there, they say, don't they? Isn't Atlanta meant to be, like, what? Fucking hell. So by that logic, if you move to an area in London where there are more black people, the likelihood of you finding somebody that liked you will be high too. Honestly, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just bored of this. I'm just bored, man. I'm just bored of it. But maybe as well, the truth of the reality of this situation is that this conversation obviously isn't for me because I don't care and I'm not a black woman. But maybe this is actually something that's actually an issue, like legitimately. Maybe it's something they're really struggling with, but I don't see it in real life. I think this is just the internet. I don't see it in real life. I see many beautiful black couples walking around when I'm in the hood, when I'm in the ends, when I'm where I am. I see many when I go out and shit. I don't think this is an issue. I think maybe on the internet it's an issue, but I don't think in real life it's an issue. I refuse. My eyes don't deceive me. I see it all the time. I see many beautiful couples all over the place. So this idea that, oh, like all the black guys are only going for the white, it's like, what? What? Maybe in the past. Maybe in the past you could say, I think let's say before, like, I would go as far as say maybe before UK music kind of took off, before UK music became like was in the charts prominently, like let's say around the grime era, maybe you could say then a lot of the black guys probably were, you know, maybe their preferences weren't to date like a black girl, for instance. That could be possible because at that time as well, we're in a weird cultural time at that time. Like, you know, all of us are a little bit all over the place. You know, those African people pretending they were Caribbean people pretending they were mixed with South American. If you know, you know. Especially England, London. If you know, we were lost. Us blacks were lost in here. We were lost in the country. But I think ever since the music has kind of taken off and become accepted in the mainstream, people are doing raves, parties, YouTubers have popped up, influencers become like super famous and millionaires off of content online. I think now it's become a little bit, for lack of a better term, and this sounds very depressing, but it's now become a lot cooler to kind of be yourself, aka a black person and shit, and unapologetic and shit, and loud and proud about it. So I think that's why you're now seeing a lot more of people that look like me on TV even, right? On fucking mainstream TV and shit, on like the main channels 1 to 5 and whatever, maybe terrestrial TV. So I think this whole narrative she's running with doesn't exist in the real world. I just don't believe it. It's not true. And I just think sometimes dating is just really dictated about who you're around. Like, I don't know, the amount of people I worked with who were in couples was quite high. Especially if you work in corporate companies and shit. Like, you're with each other 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Of course, certain people might end up hooking up and, you know, and get a relationship and then end up married. It happens all the time. people go on holiday together and shit. It happens all the fucking time. So I think a lot of the dating stuff is really dictated around those type of things. So if you can maybe control or pick or select or choose whatever, those type of things, that might increase your chances of meeting somebody that you kind of like, whatever it may be. But I think the conversation is it's so focused on the wrong thing. It really is. Like, wouldn't you want someone to just treat you well as opposed to them be a certain color, race, or creed? It just doesn't. I don't know. I think if it was me and I was a black woman, I think high up on my priority list will be somebody that just loves me, you know, as opposed to just like worrying about all these fucking boxes. Like, it's like, what? Like, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Big up big up MC with a good little racial razzing, as DSP was saying in the chat. MC says, loud and proud. The loud was obvious. Yeah. You've never met a fucking black librarian, innit? That's why. You know I'll go on. Big up big up MC. And big up Elmi as well. I know UK Angolans. Oh yes, what came to you? Oh my god. You remember, bro. You remember. I remember. I'm not even gonna name the people. They know who they are if they ever watch this. I remember certain I remember some of my fellow Angolan brothers and sisters would wear contact lenses, colored contact lenses, and some of them would say, oh, my dad's from Portugal, actually. He's even from Angola. Mom's from Brazil, but my dad worked in Angola for a little bit for an oil company. Like, they'd go that far. I remember Nigerians would be saying they were half South American, or Nigerians would be like, oh yeah, I'm half Grenadian, half Trinidadian. You'd be like, what? And if you know how racist Caribbeans are or Jamaicans are to Nigerians, like, the likelihood of that being like, come on. We know how Caribbeans get down with fucking African people, man. You're telling me that you are what? Half Dominican and half what? Ghanaian. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Let's get real. Maybe this generation, I could see it happening this generation, but those generations back in the day, family allowing you to marry some fucking Nigerian, no way. They're bad-mouthing each other on either side of the family. Honestly, man, I'm so happy where we're at now, where we're at in the UK, because we were embarrassing as black people back in the day. Black people were embarrassing, but again, we got a lot to be proud of, to be fair to us. We got a lot more to be proud of. We're contributing to society. We're contributing to the economy. We're contributing politically. Do you know what I mean? We're contributing across the board. So maybe we feel a lot more proud to be ourselves and shit and stand up tall. But back in the day, we were on some mad thing, bro. We were on some mad thing. There was a time where I remember there was certain black people that I went to school with who got accepted into Cambridge and Oxford and stuff, and I swear to God, you couldn't tell them they weren't English. They would fight you hands down and say, no, I'm English first, African second. They didn't even say they were British, they said they were English. Like, it was wild. Those people were like, I don't know. What do I know? Absolutely nothing. Okay, quickly moving tack. Let's go through some streetwear stuff, and then I'm gonna move on, and then obviously set up for the random show. So, let's check out Supreme. Supreme have announced a collaboration with Thrasher, designed by the one and only Neckface. Neckface is an artist who I feel like is very underused. Personally, I feel like he's one of the best out there. He does some great fucking art, illustration. His style is fucking sick. He's been around for fucking ages. I actually met him once, actually, at like I think an art exhibition opening in I think Cambridge Heath or something back in the day. Really nice guy, actually. In real life, apart from how he looks like, you'd think he'd be a little bit nuts or maybe a bit aloof and rude, but he's actually really fucking nice. I think he even signed something for me. I'm actually surprised why he doesn't get used more. I'm not too sure if it's because he's selective about who he works with. Does he have an exclusive contract with Supreme? But I'm surprised more people don't use Neckface in their clothing, in like, as a collaborator artistically. Like, his style is so sick, personally. But Who knows? So this goes to Supreme News. It says Supreme and Thrasher. Supreme has worked with Thrasher on a new collection for fall 2024. The collection consists of a work jacket, blah blah blah, is available on the 26th. So as you can see via the picture here, we have a hooded work jacket here with some neck face illustration on the back, as you can see there. And it's all been embroidered too. This is high. This is good quality shit, bro. It's all got heavy embroidered heavy embroidered color. No, heavily embroidered color. Or embroidered heavily color. Whatever that fucking word is. You see here? You see a devil illustration here. Or like a bat illustration. Skating on top of a Thrasher logo on fire with the wings. Absolutely fucking sick. I love that. Obviously, there's just the front of the work jacket. Work jackets usually don't have a hood on it, so this is a nice little detail. A work jacket with a hood. I'm not mad at that. There we go. You also got there. Oh, that's probably my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. This might be my favorite. They got swept. This guy's got a little bund on him as well, by the way. This is at South Bank as well. Big up South Bank. So this is pictured at South Bank. There's a pair of sweatpants where it's got what's it called that? It's got Thrasher and Supreme written in like a kind of a cross shape on the side of the sweatpants. Really fucking cool. It kind of looks like spray paint, but it also looks like it could be bleach, like done with a bleach pen, which is also quite a cool way. I think you could buy bleach markers and stuff where you could kind of like, you know, essentially put it on a bit of fabric and draw, and whatever bleach takes away, it kind of leaves an imprint. So it's a kind of a cool way to kind of get that text on there. That was pretty cool. You've also got the same text on the back of the sweatshirt too. It's actually a really cool design. I'm not going to lie. The Supreme, Thrasher, but it's got Supreme written on side. And obviously, oh yeah, I didn't even see that, by the way. I'm so fucking dumb. So it says Thrasher and Supreme in a cross shape because obviously Supreme and Thrasher share the same R. So technically you can write Thrasher horizontally or vertically, sorry, and then Supreme can come across horizontally and you can have the same R. That's a pretty cool design there, really clever. And on the front you've got what's his fucking name? The skater for Zoo York that passed away. You guys will know in the stream chat. Who passed away in like the early 2000s, unfortunately. R.I.P. him. Zoo York skater. He's in Kids. What's his fucking name? He's on the front of the t-shirt. They've got a photo tee of him and they're on the front. What's his name again? If you know the stream chat, let me know in the stream chat if you know who I'm talking about in the front there. Black skateboarder, skated for Zoo York. I think skated for DC as well. I think if I'm not mistaken, back in the day. Harold Hunter. That's it. I think Harold Hunter. I think his name is Harold Hunter. I think that's Harold Hunter. I'm pretty sure that's Harold Hunter. Is it Harold Hunter? I'm pretty sure that's him. Is it Harold Hunter? Yeah, that's it. It's Harold Hunter. Yes, Harold Hunter. R.I.P. Harold Hunter. Absolute fucking legend. Unfortunately passed away many years ago. But a Supreme legend as well, by the way. Linked to the Supreme crew and shit. And I think he skated for Zoo York. I'm pretty sure Zoo York he skated for, right? Yeah, it was Zoo York. Yeah, there you go. Because I remember I had one of the DVDs that he was in. I forgot what actual part he was in that I had, but I remember having a tape of it back in the day. R.I.P. fucking Harold Hunter, absolute legend. So great to see them keeping his legacy still alive there. So there's a Harold Hunter photo t-shirt also included in the fucking collection as well, with Thrasher reverse on the back. There's also a beanie with ear flaps on it, which they also, the sweatsuit. The sweatsuit, man, I want that so bad. That sweatsuit is so good. Maybe in white or something, or in black, but that sweatsuit is so good with the cross. Oh, Mark Gonzalez as well. Big up Gons. Big up Gons. That's fucking cool. And they were friends too back in the day, so that's fucking cool. Big up Gons. Also wearing the fucking the Harold Hunter photo tee. There's a photo tee as well included as well into the collection. So big up Gons. Absolute fucking legend. That's neck face there. Big up Nasty neck face. There he is there with the t-shirt in hand. Love to see it. Oh, that logo on the t-shirt is fucking cool. You got that kind of devil motifing skating on top of the coffin with a skeleton on the inside. That is so fucking cool. And then the fire emitting from the grind of the skateboard is all written in flames that say Thrasher. That is so fucking cool. I really like that. The beanie is really cool as well. Don't mind that. So there's a hooded work jacket. Is going to be a bomb. What else we got here? The hooded jacket comes in cream and black. There's also a nice sweatshirt here that comes in orange, black, and grey. There's also the photo tee, or the photo sweatshirt actually, that comes in a few colors actually. It's like a pinky salmon colorway, a black, a navy, a grey. You've got a zip-up hoodie with the Supreme Thrasher and Supreme written on it in cross shape. It doesn't come in white. It comes in grey, blue, and black. This would have been sick if it came in a white, man. Honestly, if this came in white with the black text, oh, I'd wear the fuck out of it. I swear to God, I'd wear the fuck out of it. But the sweatpants look really cool as well. And what else do they have here? And I think the beanie, right? The t-shirt is really awesome. That graphic on the t-shirt. Oh, that's actually, that green colorway is really nice, isn't it? That green colorway in the t-shirt is really fucking cool. I'm not mad at that at all. The green color in the t-shirt is really nice. And then you've got the more t-shirts here. You've got the t-shirt with a cross. That's a Supreme. The beanie is really cool too. The beanie colorway is absolutely beautiful. I'm not going to lie. That beanie is actually really fucking nice. Very, 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 very well done. There's also another like skull beanie or whatever you'd call them that kids like to wear too. I'm not really a fan of this type of shape of beanie. I know a lot of like Gen Z kids like this shape because I think Arc'teryx have this shape. I don't know what it's actually called. I think it's called more. It's more like a skull cap than a beanie. You don't really roll them up. You just kind of have them sitting there. I don't really like the shape of them. I think it makes your head look too much like a condom. I like my beanies to be a little bit more like, you know, substantial and rolled up and easy to roll up and shit. But yeah, big up Supreme. Happy to see what I'm seeing right now. And obviously all that stuff is dropping on Thursday. So obviously if you want to buy it, make sure you go over there. And just want to quickly check on Supreme Drops via Twitter. Big up them. Follow them at drops.gg. That's at drops.gg for all your latest Supreme Drop news. For Thursday coming up, what's actually releasing? I think, oh yeah, this really good hoodie. Oh, sorry, this really good jacket with the hood on it that comes in all white. And a few other bits as well that I quickly want to check on here before moving on to the next topic quickly. Let me actually get up on the screen. So these are the things that are dropping on Supreme Week 6 here, courtesy of Drops GG. What do they have available? Buddy, boom. Oh, quite a lot of stuff to this. Okay. Oh, the Moleskin's coming out this on Thursday too, and also the faux chopped cheese, the chopped cheese ornament. I don't know. I don't know what you call it, like sculpture at the bottom. That's pretty cool. It's basically a little toy version of a chopped cheese that's coming out this Thursday. Why is it £148 though? Fucking hell, that's a lot of money, isn't it, for like a toy thing? Like maybe it's made by somebody special, I don't know. These hats are really nice actually. I'm not mad at the hats. The pinwheel hats coming out on the Thursday are really good. Especially like this one here. It's kind of giving Denim Tears. I'm not gonna lie. When Tremaine sees this, he's gonna throw a fit. When Tremaine sees this corduroy pinwheel 5-panel hat, he's gonna throw a fit because it kind of looks like Denim Tears. It kind of looks a little bit like Denim Tears with the different colored panels and shit. But I really like it. This corduroy is fucking beautiful. It's like corduroy, and you got it in this like nice pink color or purple color here on the right. The brown is really nice, the red's really nice, but that multicolor one is fucking brilliant. And then the pants are really nice too. These cargo pants that match the jacket are really cool. The jacket up there, that's $4.98. The pants that match it are really fucking cool. I also like this hooded zip up top. It looks like a rugby. Oh, it's actually not. I'm mistaken. I take it back. This striped rugby top also has a hood. That's a really cool design. I didn't see that during the preview. I don't think I noted it. That's really nice. This knitwear, what do you call it? 3-button knits top is going to be really popular too. The camo colors are actually pretty nice, but I'd probably, if I was going to buy it, I'd probably buy the solid colors, the green, the pink, or the black. I think that's a really nice top actually. That would go well with a pair of loafers. There's also a nice jersey here. That's a really nice one. For sure, this jersey, fucking, what's his name? Chris Ducey, the DJ. He's going to be all over this dude. He's going to be all over this fucking jersey. He loves a good fucking Supreme jersey. So if you see, you're definitely going to see Chris Ducey wearing this sometime soon. That's really nice. $118, not bad. Bit expensive, but not bad. There's also a shirt. What else do we have here? An S hoodie. Oh, this is the favorite though. This jacket here, the 248 one's my favorite. It comes with a hood, a detachable hood, and it also comes with a faux fur sort of like collar thing, which is also really nice. And also this jacket here actually, which is, you know, a classic. I think it's called an N3B. I think that's a shape. And what you call it, Parker, with the fur hood and obviously the chest pockets and shit. I'm not mad at it as well. So a nice drop actually, decent drop, a decent drop, decent fucking drop, decent drop, all things considered. But the prices are the prices, isn't it? The prices are the prices. They're not fucking. They're not giving the shit away. That's for sure. Supreme are never giving away anything. That's for fucking sure. Oh yeah, exactly. I see the stream chat now. People saying the prices are silly. I'll just make my own. Exactly. Yeah. Supreme don't give away anything, mate. Supreme are the masters of like, fuck you, pay me. Let's continue. Do a couple more before I move on to random show. Bear with me a second on here. I did that. I did this. What else I got to do? Bear with me a second as I quickly go through these options here. I did the Supreme thing. I did that. I did this. I did that. What else is going on here? Oh, let's talk about Nigo. Actually, Nigo. Yeah, Nigo. Let's do the Nigo one. Nike and Nigo are linking up. I'm not mad at this at all. I fucking love this. Let me see if I can get it up on here because this is fucking being lame. But Nike and Nigo have nicked up for their first ever collaboration, actually, which is really strange considering all the work that Nigo's done in streetwear and being, you know, literally one of the originators of this modern day streetwear that we all know and love now at the moment. For this to be his first official collab with Nike is amazing. And also considering his, you know, his kind of history of, let's say, appropriating some Nike designs. It's also funny to see them finally coming around and be like, you know what? Let's let bygones be bygones, even though we tried to sue you a million times when you would Bape. Let's let you do this collaboration. So this is courtesy of Hypebeast. Let me get up here on the screen. It says Nigo and Nike officially announced their first ever partnership. So as you know, the former founder of Bape and a streetwear legend and icon has now got his own collaboration with Nigo and with Nike, and I'm fucking over the moon with it. If you guys know, you know that how much of a fan and a stan of Nigo, Hiroshi Fujiwara, Jun Takahashi, all those guys from that scene from back in the day, and how much of a fan I am of those guys. So this is something that I'm definitely going to be trying to get my hands on. It features a sweatshirt, it features some clothing and of course some shoes. The sweatshirt is obviously the standout piece, as is the t-shirt, because on the front of the sweatshirt you've got what would be the regular Nike logo, but instead of saying Nike it says Nigo. It's fucking sick. For me, I love it. And also, oh, look at the little detail. This kind of reminds me of like the old school vintage Nike sweatshirts. And it's also not a Wrangler sleeve, so it's like a boxy shaped sweatshirt, and it also has the Nigo emblem embroidered along right at the bottom of the wrist as well. That's fucking cool. I swear to God. And if I'm not mistaken, they've got exactly big up Elmi, yeah, exactly, full circle. There's also a friends and family version too, where they've reversed it and it says OG in as well on it. So it's been reversed the other way around, so the swoosh is the other way around. But yeah, that's a friends and family version. Let's go through quickly. I'm actually a big fan of the shoes. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the Air Force 3s. I think the activation fucking video thing that they put out is really fucking cool, honestly. It really kind of it kind of makes you understand the references behind it, and it kind of makes the shoes look more appealing. I'm not gonna lie. It's sort of like this and it's kind of done in like a 80s 90s anime style, kind of like a Kira, or kind of like I think the inspiration might have been what are robots called? What do they do? I forgot the fucking robots anime where they kind of jump. What was it called? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The where they jump, where the robots fight and shit. They're huge fucking robots, like building size robots. I forgot what it's called. Gundam. I said Gundam. Big up LME. Yeah, exactly. It's like a Gundam-y type thing. It's a video. I'm sure it's available on a Nike site or whatever. I would actually play it for you now, but I'm not too sure if it's gonna get me taken down. But let me just continue, right? Those are the shoes. And obviously that's him wearing the thing. Let's scroll down. Oh, there's another colorway too. Look at the other colorway. Oh, I'm not mad at the other. I think the other colorway, I think I might prefer the other one, the white one. So there's a colorway that's got more of like a navy darker base, and then there's also a colorway that's more white. Ooh, I'm not mad at the white colorway. The more whiter colorway is actually pretty nice. And it's less, oh, it's not, I don't think it's patent either, is it? I think the other colorway on top is more patent. I think the whole upper is patent. I think this upper is mostly leather or suede. That's actually really fucking nice. I'm not gonna lie. I really fucking like these. Ooh, 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 ooh. Air Force 3, some nice interesting piping here, different mixes of green, blues and reds and yellows. And look at the box as well. Look at that box. Air Force 3. Oh, that's fucking cool. Such a unique bespoke box there. Let's actually read some of the let's read some of the fucking blurb. It says Nigo and Nike have officially announced a long-awaited debut partnership, which is kicking off with a duo's collaborative sneaker, the Air Force 3. Nike truly has many masterpieces. The Air Force 3 is a hidden masterpiece. When I decided to work with Nike, I went to Nike World headquarters and drew a lot of inspiration from the archives, the lab, and the team working there. Everything I saw had a great influence on the project. That there are still many things yet to come. So please look forward to the Nigo and Nike project. It's the beginning of a long and exciting journey. Wow. I think just the other day, myself and maybe some others on the internet were bemoaning the lack of fucking Nike and Gaikusu. That shit they used to do with fucking John Takahashi, the founder of Undercover, when he was super hardcore into running. He did his own little capsule collection under Nike that was some of the best running gear I think ever. I've still got some of the pieces now that I still wear when I go running. The quality was so high, but they don't make it anymore. There's obviously other running brands that kind of fill the void, but I still do miss that fucking Gaikusu Nike shit. But this could be a nice little replacement streetwear wise. Nike and Nigo having a long-term partnership. So this isn't the first. This is the first drop. So there's probably more stuff to come down the line. Fuck, that's so cool. The Air Force 3 low Blue Void makes a reference to some of Nigo's favorite films, television shows across the design. As per press release, the future releases from the duo will continue to point to Nigo's Rolodex of cultural inspiration. The Blue Void features an upper crafted from a mixture of embossed leathers and rubber outsole, midsole, and graphic hits. And I also like the fact that he went for such a an underused model. You know, he went a bit different because this colorway on an Air Force One, he would have killed it, right? If he did the same type of application or like whatever on an Air Force One, people would have been creaming their pants over it. But the fact that he tried something different and went for something a bit fresh and tried to challenge the consumer a little bit with the Air Force 3, I really rate, to be honest. Interesting, because I wouldn't have ever thought of that. So that's fucking cool. As the apparel aspect is released, Nigo and Nike are serving up both a varsity jacket hoodie in each. It's going to be released on sneakers on October the 4th. The capsule will drop on the 28th exclusively at the Otsumo Plaza in Tokyo, and the I Know Nigo 2 pop-up in New York. Oh, so cool. Wish I could see all that shit, man. Where's all the clothing? Why can't we see the clothing? I would love to see some of the clothing bits as well, but we can't see some of the clothing. But the clothing is really good too. It basically there's like a varsity jacket. There's also let's see if I can get up on here. There's a varsity jacket. There's also a sweatshirt, there's a t-shirt, there's a bunch of shit. Let's see if I can get it. Is it up available? There's a sweatshirt. I don't know why I can't find it. Let's see, let's maybe get this out of the search bar. Let's see if I can find out this. No? Okay, maybe not. Maybe they're not. I don't know why they're not showing us the fucking... I'd love to see what the fucking stuff looks like, but doesn't matter anyway. Or maybe it's no, actually I think it might be available on Stay Grounded. I think Stay Grounded might have posted it. Let's go and Stay Grounded because they usually do a good job of posting all this shit. So Stay Grounded might have actually the pictures of the clothing, because the clothing is really fucking fun to look at. I'm not gonna lie, especially some of the varsity jacket, especially, it's fucking hard as nails. So yeah, there we go. There it is. There you go. There's the entire thing. Look at the varsity jacket with the raglan sleeves. So fucking beautiful, and it kind of reminds me of an old Bape jacket. There's like a vintage Bape jacket, which I think Nigo is actually on the cover of a magazine, because I've got a bunch of old Japanese streetwear magazines that I collect, especially one particular one called Asayan, but there's loads of other ones from like the late 90s, early 2000s that I also collect, because I'm obsessed with that era of streetwear and obviously obsessed with Nigo. But there's one particular one where he's like wearing like a red varsity jacket and it's got like a star on it. It's like a Bape jacket. It's a Bape jacket obviously, but it's got a star on the front and it's red with white sleeves. So I think the style of the jacket I'm thinking of is the same one that I think he's based this collaboration we've done with Nike. I think so. Let me see if I can actually see it. I think it's let's see, Nigo Bape varsity jacket cover, and I think the jacket was red. I think the jacket is red. I think the jacket was red. I think so. Let's see if I can find it. I think the jacket was red. It was like a part of a magazine. I remember it on the top of my head, but I don't know if I remember what magazine it was. But it was like a red jacket. It had like a Bape, like a what you call, like a thunder star logo on the left cheek, on the left side. So it's kind of similar to some of these, but I can't find it on here. But if I do find it, I'll put the clip or the photo of it in the edit when I obviously do it. But yeah, so you got the varsity jacket, which is obviously the winner. You've also got the Nigo sweatshirts that come in loads of colors. You've got this like, I don't know, just like a greeny, a washed out green. You got a yellow, a red, a blue, a pink. Wow, man, they're in ham. T-shirt as well, and obviously the shoes in 2 different colorways. I'm hoping it's not men's and women's, but I think it might be. I'm hoping that they also come in men's sizes, because I think I actually prefer that whiter colorway more. Instead of the pattern's still hard, but I think I prefer maybe the whiter colorway. But you got 2 pairs of shoes in 2 different colorways, and you've got one varsity jacket in 2 different colors, green and blue, sweatshirt, t-shirt. So fucking good, man. Look at the embroidery. Look at the detail on the inside. Oh, the detail on the inside with the embroidery of the Nigo logo, swoosh, and Nike thing on the inside. God damn. They went hard on this one. Oh, and they've also got the vintage Nike logo. Yeah, look. The vintage Nike logo. If you know, you know. This is the logo. Sorry, this is the tag from like 90s, early 2000s. The size tag on the inside. That's fucking cool. I love everything about this. I really fucking do. This is so fucking hard. The shoes are really well done as well, by the way. I've just noticed the fucking, what you call it, velvety lining on the inside of the shoe, the silvery lining. That's so fucking hard. And it's got Nigo Force on the back. Look at that on the heel tab. One side says Nike Air, the other side says Nigo Force. Too hard. Too fucking hard, man. The details are fucking so cool. I know I'm coming all over my fucking shorts watching these, but I know it's a bit cringe, but please allow me this. Oh, and it's in silver as well. So beautiful. And obviously the white pair, which might be which might be a sleeper. I'm not gonna lie, these are so hard again. Same thing. Silver heel tab as well. Oof. And look at the bespoke box as well. It comes with this massive N. And is that a sticker or is that like a felt pin? There's also like a gold little, I'm not sure if that's like a lace jewel, I'm not too sure. But there's a massive felt sort of like N there as well at the bottom. Fucking cool. Love it all, love it all. Dropping September 27th, so if you want it, keep an eye out, and I'm sure they're going to be available on sneakers probably soon as well. You'd imagine they'll probably be available on sneakers sometime soon. You would imagine. Next on the list, a quick one to check out before I leave you guys was this. Where is it? There you go. Yeah, let's leave with this. So not sure if you're aware of this, right? So this party in London, this party collective called Adonis, they're probably one of the best ones here in London. They're mostly it's a gay party. They do some really cool parties here, mostly in the cores and a few other places. I've been to one. It's been actually quite fun. They book a bunch of great DJs. Usually don't release the lineup. You have to kind of go first to find out, or maybe no, they do release it on the day, but not beforehand. So there's a really cool little thing that they do and shit. They have a really cool Instagram. Well, they decided recently, I didn't know this was an issue, but they decided to make a pretty forthright stance against the war in Gaza. And basically, I think they made a post declaring that they were like a Zionist free space, like a bit of a rant basically on their Instagram page, right? And I didn't really think much of it, right? This is their Instagram page to kind of get an idea on what Adonis is about, right? This is obviously then the night that they do. They post loads of fun images about what goes down at their parties, as you can see here. Some of the stuff is a little bit adult themed, but it gives you an idea on what the vibe is. And I honestly swear, in terms of raves and clubs and scenes and parties, these is one of the best places to go and chill out at. I swear to God, I fucking love it. It's usually a great vibe, even though it can be a lot. It's good. I fucking love it. I'm not gonna lie, they do a really good job what they do. But they put out that statement about being anti-Zionist and shit, and I didn't really think much of it, right? I didn't really think much of it. I think it was maybe in reaction to something really heinous happening in the news. You know, Israel is kind of, I think most people can agree the Israeli government is doing a little bit too much at the moment. They need to fucking chill the fuck out. And I think they probably just reacted to some of that news, seeing, you know, scores of people in Gaza suffering as they are, Palestinians kind of, you know, suffering at the hands of the Israeli government and shit. And they probably wanted just to throw out a statement there and kind of lend support and offer out, say, love and support to people who are suffering in Palestine. Well, unfortunately, it seems like they have now regretted that decision. So they're now walking back that you know, that initial post because there was a threat that they were going to be sued or something. This is crazy, bro. Crazy. It's courtesy of Mixmag. It says Adonis issues a statement following a reported legal warning over their retracted No Zionist post. So they made a post saying No Zionist, kind of in jest, you'd imagine. It's not actually saying if you're a Zionist you can't come in, because how the hell would they know who's a Zionist and who isn't? It was just more so them saying, hey, we're standing with the Palestinian people. Either way, their fans who maybe are Israeli maybe took that to be an offense, or maybe took that to be a form of discrimination, and they went fucking crazy to the point where somebody, I'm assuming, threatened them with legal proceedings, which is fucking crazy. So this is it just shows you how insane the world has got at the moment where this is happening. It's just crazy. Let's read the article. It says London queer party Adonis and its founder Shay Malt have issued a statement following a reported legal action issued against the club over an alleged anti-Zionism policy. Adonis said in a statement on Saturday, September 14th, that it had retracted a No Zionist post that was briefly online, calling it flippant, ill-considered, and retort to the ongoing abuse, attacks, and death threats we continue to experience on social media. The statement followed the Jewish News report that the license holders of London nightclub The Cause, where Adonis was hosted, had faced legal action following the public comment. Wow. Yo. Israeli people don't play, innit? Israeli government don't play. The Israeli Defense League don't play. If you criticize them in any way, even rightfully, even if you've got reason to criticize them, they will use all resources that they have to make sure you don't criticize them again. Because what the fuck? So this explains why that. So there was an Adonis recently, a birthday party that they cancelled last minute, if I'm sure. And I think they did it somewhere else, or they maybe scaled it back. This maybe explains why. So they threatened the cause with legal action too. So if you don't get these motherfuckers in line, we're gonna fucking shut you down as well. Wow. Yeah, this is they are doing exactly. Big up Elmi, touchy. This is too much, bro. Because I remember the No Zionist post. I saw it. They deleted it, obviously, but obviously, it was a little bit like I thought, it's a bit much. But it was just I'm pretty sure that No Zionist post was a reaction to what happened in the news that particular week. Like, the horrible images that we're all seeing of Palestinian people being blown up, being basically killed left, right, and center in their thousands. It's a literal genocide. Like, no one can kind of debate that. It's definitely a one-sided war. And they just reacted to it and made a post about, basically standing firm with the Palestinian people. Now, was it a little bit hasty and a little bit kind of ill-conceived, especially given that you'd imagine their type of party, they probably have people from all around the world who maybe will take some of those posts offensive, yes. But I don't think it was meant as, we're not going to allow Israeli people to come to our party, because something that I've actually only realized recently, especially mostly because of the war in Gaza at the moment and what's happening between, Gaza and Israel, Palestine and Israel, I didn't know this is a thing, but you get to see it, especially if you're involved in nightlife, how many people that are involved in nightlife that also happen to be Israeli. I don't know why that is. Maybe because there is a high population of gay guys there. Maybe that's why, because in nightlife also there's a high population of gay guys that work behind the scenes. But I was shocked to learn how many people in nightlife, whether they work on streaming platforms, record stores, DJs themselves, booking agents, managers, who are Israeli. It's wild. Like, so many people. Obviously, the first one that stands out is the guy who used to own a big part of E1, which was uncovered. He went to fucking fight in Palestine as part of the Israeli Defense League and most likely killed women and children and shit. Wild story. Eventually, he kind of got exposed and he had to sort of step away from E1, even though I don't think he probably did. Most likely, he probably just like, I am stepping away, and then he's probably back in again. But it was really funny, to see, observation. And I've never really found out why the reason is. I don't think maybe there is a high population of gay guys in Israel. I don't know. I know they've got a really good nightlife scene out there. They've got really good parties. A lot of great DJs come from there. The first person I can think of is Roy Perez. He's Israeli. But there's a bunch of people, especially in the nightlife scene, I'm not sure why it is, who are Israeli. So many people. So obviously if you're Adonis and you say no Zionist, even if you're not a Zionist, if you're from Israel, you're gonna take that as an offense. you're gonna take that well, because that essentially is people discriminating against a place that you're from. Wow, honestly, this is a crazy thing. Nightlife is fucking a crazy place. According to Jewish News, the Campaign Against Antisemitism wrote a legal letter to the co-directors DL and Drink Limited, the company that holds alliances of the cause, quoting a poll conducted in 2023, which found that 80% of British Jews consider themselves as Zionists and only 6%. Okay. I think they're basically saying most people who are British and Jewish consider themselves Zionists. So if you're saying no Zionists at the club, you're discriminating against 80% of the Jewish population in England. Adonis must have been so scared, man. They put up a little sassy post standing with their brothers and sisters in Palestine, making it known that they're all about free Gaza and shit, and their entire party nearly got dunned. What are you guys saying in the chat? Big up at Elmi. They basically own the scene. Exactly. Adonis better double check that they don't get a box full of pages. Exactly, Dundota. But that's the thing though. I want to know, hopefully when I clip this up, people can tell me in the comments. I want to know, when did that happen? When did it happen? Because I felt like there was a time where, maybe I'm imagining things, but I felt like there was a time where the majority of the people who owned, quote unquote, the dance music scene, nightlife scene, were like Europeans. And when I mean Europeans, I mean like Spanish, French, Italian guys. But maybe I'm thinking about Tech House and Minimal. I felt like all the guys that were involved with clubs and festivals and booking agencies and whatever, they were all from those countries. But for some reason, in the recent years, it felt like it's been a shift. And it feels like everybody, like even Hor, those guys were Israeli. Like everybody's been uncovered to be like an IDF person. It's like, oh shit, I didn't know you're from Israel. I didn't know you're from Israel. It's interesting. I would love to know why that is the case. It continues. It says, Mixed Mag reached out to the Campaign Against Antisemitism for comment, and they said, "We will always take a firm action against anyone that seeks to enforce a ban on the vast majority of Jews. There will be no place for exclusion of Jews or other minorities in the arts." Adonis has since claimed that there was no such policy was implemented, and that it never has or never would deny anyone entry based on their race, ethnicity, gender, or religion, or any protected characteristics covered by the Equality Act of 2010. The funny thing is, they kind of do though, which they have to, which is what they do with door picking. Most of the best club nights in London have a door picker, a person who stands there, and even though you've got money to buy a ticket or you've got a ticket, in Adonis cases, there is a pre-sale ticket, sorry, but you just, they still have a door picker who makes sure the person that's coming in is of the right vibe. Now, it's hard to judge off of just a brief interaction, but I'm sure whoever does do it, there's a technique, there's a process, there's a rhythm, whatever. There's a way to do it. But there is a form of discrimination through door picking. So it does exist, in a way. And it's funny, because most door picking policies work against people that look like me. That's the funny thing. Most door picking policies work against people that look like me, or guys in general, especially lads. Like if you was to turn up to Adonis, and you look like a conventional group of lads, but you just wanted to rave, they might turn you away. They might turn you away. Now, it might be they're turning you away because they feel like you won't be comfortable with what you see. And they don't want your uncomfort to then make other people who are there, who the party is created for, to feel uncomfortable. Which is very, which makes a lot of sense. Understandable. Because the party is predominantly made for gay guys. So why would you allow lads in there who are all straight to party when they're going to be freaked out by what they see? They're going to make the gay guys who are in there seeking refuge and seeking a place to go and feel comfortable and be themselves. They're going to get freaked out, and it's just creating a weird environment. Like the first time I went to fucking Adonis, I had, not the bestest time because I really wasn't with it. I wasn't really taking anything. I didn't drink that much as well. I just wasn't feeling the vibe. But the first time I went to Adonis, the first thing I saw, I went straight to the toilet to try to get myself, it's one of those nights where, when you try to take multivitamins to try to get yourself in the mood of the rave. I tried and did that, but it didn't work. And I think after about 2 hours, I left. But the first thing I saw when I went to Adonis, I went into the toilets. No, I went to the cause. I went to the main room, which is the main cause room bit, which you all know. And then there's another room where you kind of go through the back, and it's like a little second room where they also had the DJ there. I was in there for a bit. Then I went to the toilet of that room, which is kind of up a few stairs. And as I walked into the toilet, I saw somebody who I recognized, like a famous DJ, won't name the person, coming out of the toilet cubicle with two guys by either of his side, his trousers down by his knees, a condom hanging off the tip of his penis, and those two guys rubbing his chest. That's the first thing I saw when I walked into the Adonis toilets. That's when I thought, you know what? I'm in Adonis. I'm in the right place. This is where I should be. No, I thought to myself, this is where they should be, but I shouldn't be here. I felt like I was intruding. I was like, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the right place at the wrong time. Yeah. As I was coming in, they just came out from a little cheeky threesome in a fucking cubicle. I was like, fucking hell, fucking. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, it's just like the sad thing I think about a lot of the scene is that they say they're inclusive. They say it's all about diversity and all this malarkey, but if my little brothers were to go to I think my little brothers would get turned away at Fold. And my little brothers are what people would describe as like stereotypical kind of black guys, right? If my little brothers went to Fold, they'll get turned away. And I don't think that's fair because they're into the same stuff that I'm into. Do you know what I mean? They just don't look like they just don't look like they're into it, kind of thing. So that's the thing I don't like about the whole like picking thing, because it kind of doesn't really discriminate. It discriminates mostly against people that look like me, I feel like. And obviously guys in general who maybe don't present a certain way. I think if you're like straight presenting, you kind of suffer and struggle to get into a lot of club nights in London. Now, again, it's moaning because, you know, there's loads of fucking straight nights to go to. It's not like we're fucking, you know, devoid of options. But unfortunately in London, like, let's just call a spade, man. The gays and the queers are running the scene, bro. They've got the best parties. They've got the best vibes. They've got the best collectives. The coolest nights, the coolest late, like they're doing the best shit. So we want to go to their raves, but sometimes, you know, they don't want us to come because clearly, you know, we might not come there, if you get what I mean, you know. Which I get too. I get the dilemma, but yo, Israeli people don't play, man. Israeli people don't play. Jewish people don't fuck around. The party noted that it retains its inclusive values, pointed back to a statement issued in early August where it claims to have been a victim of a smear campaign against for following a pro-Palestinian post online, which has been met with hate and violent threats in recent months. See, that's not fair. I think if you're a Zionist, if you're proud to be a Zionist, but somebody is then proudly and loudly pro-Palestinian, you have to let them cook. You can't be like, oh, you being pro-Palestinian is invalidating who I am and it's making me feel like I'm being attacked and I'm not No. Don't be a baby. Don't be a baby. If you want to be pro-Israeli and you want to be a pro whatever, cool. That's where you're from. Fly your flag. Be proud of what you're doing. You know, whatever. Even if you're going to make excuses for your government, do what you want to do. But if somebody wants to fly that Palestinian flag, if somebody wants to say free Gaza, from the from the whatever to the sea, that slogan they say, whatever they want to do, let them rock as well. Both sides have to be able to say what they want to say. I don't like this whole like, oh no, if you're saying that, you're invalidating me as a person. I feel like I'm being discriminated against. Like, come on, let's grow up a little bit. It continues. A previous statement explained, at Adonis, Jewish people have always been welcome and present. It would go against all what we stand for to exclude anyone based on their ethnicity or race. As queer people, however, we believe that we have a duty to stand in solidarity against oppression in all its forms. It includes from religious fundamentalists of all variations, far-right ultranationalists, racists, xenophobes, and genocide apologists. Which is basically them saying, Israelis. This is a great quote. Big up Adonis. This is a fantastic quote. We're sorry, but we're not sorry. As queer people, we believe we have a duty to stand in solidarity against oppression in all its forms. This includes from religious fundamentalists of all variations, far-right ultranationalists, racists, xenophobes, and genocide apologists. Our ongoing support of Palestinian justice, which we understand may come across as divisive in its tone, is based on our anger, horror, and despair at the current situation unfolding in Gaza and the West Bank. So they're saying, hey, we're saying what we're saying for a reason. We're saying what we're saying because men, women, and children are being killed in the thousands every fucking day by the Israeli government. So they're basically saying we have a reason, we have a right to be anti-Zionist. Oh, this is so fucking incredible. Stuart Glenn, Oh yeah, I remember this guy. I spoke to him on Facebook once. Yeah, this is one of the owners of the cause. Oh my god. Stuart Glenn of DL Food and Drink reportedly responded to the Jewish News and said that after an external review and that the causes against racism and hate and planned Adonis event take place did not go ahead. Forthcoming Adonis parties in October, November, and December are currently scheduled, with event details indicating the party has parted ways with the cause. Wow. You know what's funny? Isn't this guy also Jewish? The guy that owns it. I swear he might be. I swear this guy, because I think I spoke to him ages ago on Facebook about trying to get a gig there. And I swear to God, I think he might also be Jewish. Oh. So Adonis is no longer doing raves with the cause, it seems like. Holy fucking shit. Part of me feels like Adonis should just focus on putting on fun parties, right? Part of me feels like Adonis should just focus on putting on the raves and not get overly political. But then part of me also knows the whole reason for Adonis, existing is that they represent, as they said in that quote, right? Like that's their whole point of existing. Was that they believe in the duty of solidarity. So that's part of the whole expression, that's part of the whole rave. It's a celebration of that. Solidarity against oppression. They talk about politics and shit all the time. So they can't, but the price you pay is that venues, largely it seems like, are controlled by either Israeli people or Jewish people. And if you're out here saying you're anti-Zionist and they all think of themselves as Zionists and they don't say it as like a bad thing, they're going to take that personally and they're going to tell you, hey, you can't put a party on in my club. Go fuck yourself. And there's not many clubs in London, especially a lot of clubs that will be open and willing to, accommodate that type of, those type of parties, or to be able to run that long or whatever it may be. Because that's a good thing about the cause. It's got an amazing outdoor area. It opens until 6 a.m. There's not many clubs in London that can open that late. So you are really low on options. That's the thing. You make your stance, you stand with the Palestinians, but then you kind of fuck yourself because now you got nowhere else to go because there's not that many options around and everyone's kind of fighting for the same clubs. There's probably like 5 good clubs in London that everyone wants to put a party at. And most likely you would imagine they all kind of have been booked up months or years in advance. So I really feel for Adonis. I'm not going to lie. I feel for Adonis because they're standing up for their principles. They're standing up for what they believe in, but it's kind of cost them. It sounds like it's kind of cost them because now they're walking back a statement. They've ended the relationship with the cause. Everything's kind of going tits up or cocks up. Next party is on the 5th of October, but there's no detail on where it's going to be. What's the Instagram saying? There's the Instagram. Oh, Instagram as well. All the comments are closed on their posts as well, by the way. Most of the posts have got no comments open. Shit. God damn. Let's check the Instagram stories quickly before I finish this. Instagram stories. Oh, look, see? they're still fucking standing tall. Big up Adonis though. I like it. It's probably cost them some money. It's probably cost them a lot of heartache, but they're still fucking standing 10 toes down, being very, very politically active. They hit emergency protest, hands off on Lebanon, stop the genocide. They're putting a post up on here about the protest happening on Thursday in solidarity with the Lebanese people. Like, fucking hell, big up fucking Adonis. They're not going out without a fight. Let's actually refresh that screen. Let's actually see if anything else happened here. And let me see what you're saying in the stream chat. What are you guys saying in the stream chat? They basically own the scene. Tel Aviv was one of the... Oh, is that what? Okay, cool. That explains it. Big up Don Dotter. Tel Aviv was one of the party capitals. Yeah, I noticed that because there's a couple clubs there. I think there's a club that Roy Perez's boyfriend, what's his name again? I think his name is Yonti or something. Yonti or someone like that. He plays in this club in Israel that I remember seeing in Tel Aviv. That's fucking gorgeous. And the videos I saw, I just saw a lot of very handsome looking Israeli guys dancing. They're having a good time. So, and that seemed like a normal small club. So it seemed like they've got a really big scene out there popping. I wasn't aware of that, to be honest. That's a really big oversight for me. I wasn't aware there was a big scene over there. They've always been heavily invested in entertainment, says AZ. No, entertainment, I understand, Chris Mack. I get it. But I thought naively that most of the techno adjacent scene was owned by like Italian, Spanish, and French guys, because most of the big DJs are from those countries anyway. But effectively, what I've seen now, the actual real people who are running the scene are people from specifically Israel. It's like, it's funny, it's really interesting. Like, specifically one country is the one that's specific, you know, who's holding up the entire scene infrastructure wise. It's fucking wild. Seems like every single group that does everything they can to make fallout exactly. I'll go spilling tea. From the river to the sea is a pretty brutal though. Chris Mack, from river to the sea is a reference to the OG biblical kingdom of Israel, Judah, if I remember correctly. So when they chant it, it'll be free. They mean that they want all the Jewish people out, not just a two-state solution. Yeah. I know. I'm aware of that. Unlikely that will happen though, unfortunately for them. I dislike bullies as well as MC. Exactly. No chance on partying in some IDF dancing Israelites. Yeah. So yeah, all the comments are turned off as well. Fuck, man. I feel sorry for Adonis, man. They're standing up for what they believe in, but it seems like they've been kind of like they've been silenced effectively. They've effectively been silenced. They've effectively been fucking silenced. Yeah, all the comments are closed. This is the last post with comments open is this one. Let's see, is there anything happening here? Any updated comments? This is the last post with comments on it. Wow, this is pretty fucking brutal. Adonis might be on the ropes, on the fucking ropes. Nothing there, but yeah, Adonis is gone, and I don't know. I think overall, I think my stance has always been we should try and keep politics out of dance music as much as possible. But if it's a part of what you do and who you are, especially your rave and what you represent, then obviously fly the flag and go down with the fucking ship. But it's just a shame that it can impact you in this severe way, you know? Like, legitimately, it's impacted them where the party might not exist in the way that it did in the past, just because of their stance against, you know, a clear horrible thing that we're all seeing unfold over there in Palestine. It's like, you know, like calling out something that's clearly evil and bad and it's hurting a bunch of people, and now you are having to pay the price for it or suffering monetarily, you know, career-wise. It's really not fair. It really isn't fair. So solidarity with Adonis. Also understand for Israeli people, seeing a post that says no Zionists on it can seem like somebody's attacking people like yourself and where you come from and shit, and you see it like it's a personal attack or whatever, which it kind of is, but it isn't. But I feel like it just needs to be a little bit more. Everyone needs to be grown up on either side. If you want to be pro-Palestinian and say your chants and talk about, you know, being a fan of Hezbollah and all this malarkey, right, or Hamas, sorry, and do all that kind of racy, dicey shit, you also have to be aware that people on the other side are going to be extra hardcore in supporting their side as well. So I wish everyone could do it on both sides in equal measures, but it doesn't work out that way, unfortunately, especially if one side controls or has the keys to all the fucking venues. They get to basically dictate how they get spoken about online, I guess, isn't it? But anyway, solidarity with Adonis. Solidarity with Adonis. We stand strong with you. Hopefully they figure it out. Hopefully Adonis figure it out. Anyways, my friends, that's been it. The Agostino Zinga Show, episode number 820. Thank you for tuning in. Oh no, 821, sorry, 821. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to have your fucking acquaintance. Thank you for tuning in to Adonis 820. It's been a pleasure to have your acquaintance. For the audio listeners of the podcast, I'm going to play my tune of the day. My tune of the day for the audio listeners of the podcast will be, let's play a mixtape future song, actually. For those of you listening to the audio side, if you're watching via video, you won't hear anything because, you know, YouTube likes to fucking demonetize and copyright block you if you play any music. But for the audio listeners, you will be hearing me play a song from Future's recent mixtape Pluto that just dropped, or album. I'm going to be playing I Say Gang. That's probably one of my favorite ones on there. The last track number 17, I Say Gang, will be my tune of the day for those of you watching or listening, in case you want to know. If you're listening to it via the audio, please leave me a 5-star review on all the podcast platforms. That'd be greatly appreciated. Links to contact me are in the description, email links. If you've got any questions, leave it in the comments, all that malarkey, and I'll see you guys again on the other side. Those of you watching live, random show happening in about 15 minutes. Let me set up quickly. I'll do the random show straight away, and then I'll do a little break probably around 7 or 8 p.m. and I'll come back again at 11. So two-fold random show today. coming at you in about 15 minutes. For those of you who listen to Alexander Zinger Show, thank you for tuning in. Pleasure, never a chore. I'll see you guys again once again very, very soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you guys. And for now, take care. Be safe. Peace.